What's up, Renewed Awareness? Yeah, it's really windy today, so I'm just hoping this doesn't flip over. How's the audio, by the way? Can you guys hear me? Using the mic today because I know that without the mic, it's just, you won't be able to hear anything. I'm almost positive. Yeah, I'm surprised at how windy it is. Like, why isn't... All right, let me fix this real quick. Squirrel Sniper, Dr. Lay, what's up? Fuck me, this thing's not level. Okay, I think that's good right there. Fuck it, it's gonna have to be. And this one's a little low, I'm gonna have to put it up a little bit high. Should be good, hopefully. Oh man, all right, finally, goddamn. I don't know why the thumbnail changed when I re-uploaded it. When I redid this stream, I noticed it's a different thumbnail, but I'll just change it after. I'm at UCR today. It's actually really packed today, really packed. I'll show you guys right now how it looks. Yeah, it's really packed. Here, let me show you guys real quick before anybody else comes. Or let me move this because it makes it heavier with it. But let me just show you guys real quick what I'm working with. There we go. So, UCR today, but look at this. There's like an event going on. I don't know if this happens every week or if there's something going on, but you got the U.S. Marines right there, recruiting right there. See if you're good enough for the Marines. Got you doing pull-ups. All right. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, keep an eye on my stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of people today, so we'll see. We should get some conversations, you know, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's the table right there. Ooh. Looks a little bit crooked, you know. Usually I put it straight. I don't know what happened. Let me see if I can fix it. All right, let me. What the hell happened here? Oh, it's through here. Oh my God, why is it so loose? Oh my goodness. All right. Hey. So I want to test the students' common sense here at UCR. Do you guys trust your common sense?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Right? I mean, you should, right? That's what keeps you alive every day, right? So they actually have to do with the orientation of water. So it's two very easy questions, by the way. And fun fact about water and air, when we have water and air in a bottle like this and it's at rest, the water will always fill the bottom of the container and push the air to the top. Okay. regardless of the orientation of the bottle. You know, that's what water and air does, especially when it's at rest, right?
Okay.
Water goes down, pushing the air to the top. That's a fact, right? So since we understand that fact about water, right? Which one of these two water bottles, how I'm showing them to you, is not in the correct orientation? I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see, but which one is not in the correct orientation?
Well, based off how you're showing it, this one, but it could just be an upside down picture.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Okay.
Meaning it's in the wrong orientation. This will be the correct orientation.
Right.
So you got it.
Okay.
So what would you say this was the one upside down?
Because the water doesn't float like that.
Exactly, right? That's physics, you know. You know, I can't lie to you. You know, I can lie to you, but physics can't, basically.
Okay.
So you guys got the first one. It's easy. So another thing about water, it's very easy. Yeah. So another thing about water, again, regardless of the orientation, water always finds its level, regardless of the orientation. Water cannot deviate, you know, and stay like that, you know, glued. So another word for level. What could be another word for level? If I had to use another word. Balance, a good one. So the one word definition will be horizontal, because if you have a straight line that's on a slope, it's not level. It has to be a horizontal straight line, and that's what level means. So since we understand the fact about water as well, that it always finds its level, which one of these two represents level as we know it? Okay, you got it, yeah, very easy. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you guys, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know is this one.
Okay.
You guys wanna know how we were tricked?
Sure.
Do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Is what?
A ball, a sphere in outer space floating?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys believe that, right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth that they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius is 3,159 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile. And every mile it increases, because again, they're saying it's a curve, not a slope. So the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop, second mile, 32 inches, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature.
Okay.
So this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe, because if we went to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, again, lakes are miles across, by the way. There are lakes that are over 20 miles. So we just need a few miles. So again, a lake that was 3 miles across, for example, and we measure that curvature, they're telling us that the water's bending 6 feet in 3 miles. But we understand the physics of water, it's always gonna collapse. You know, the surface of water doesn't bend, you know. That's why, you know, I don't know if you knew, water doesn't have a form. It takes the shape of the container and the surface always equalizes. You know, that's the physics of water.
Okay.
So if I was to ask you guys, what's the #1 proof that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
The pictures from outer space.
Okay, pictures. Okay, I'm glad you brought them up. So they don't actually call them photographs or pictures. They actually call them images. And the reason they call them images is because they admit they're done in a computer. So they're CGI. You know what CGI is, right? It's a computer-generated image. So a real photograph of the Earth from outer space doesn't exist. So everything they're showing us is cartoons. You know?
Okay.
So again, even other space agencies like the Chinese space agencies and all that, they actually look even worse. If you look at their images, they actually look very laughable. You know, that's why they don't really highlight those.
Okay.
But yeah, have you guys heard of this topic before?
Yes,
By the way,
yes.
yeah. What do you think about it?
What do I think?
Yeah,
People
that don't accept the globe Earth, basically.
Given that you're prepared with information,
Sure.
and we're here not prepared,
Sure.
I'm kind of taking your information with a grain of salt.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't have the information to
Right.
disprove it.
Right,
But
right.
everything I've heard up to this point would tell me that
That the Earth is a
that
ball.
the Earth is.
May I ask you respectfully,
Right. Yeah.
what tells you that the Earth is a ball?
What tells me?
What tells you? Science.
Yeah,
what
everything-
science in
everything I hear about
specific, if I
science.
may ask?
I mean, I wish I had the information.
Like,
with me.
so you don't have like an experiment to measure for curvature or something along those lines that could prove the curvature's there?
No.
No,
but
right?
I've heard
Basically,
this.
anything that talks about the atmosphere, gravity, physics, like you mentioned before,
Okay.
would technically kind of prove that the whole curvature thing.
So what physics? Are you saying gravity, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys knew. Are you talking about mass attracting mass gravity or the new Einstein theory of gravity, which is the warping and bending of space-time?
No, just like the whole, like if I draw a force diagram of the Earth and the things on the Earth, that's just the way I would draw it is like the normal force and then the weight force.
Okay,
it would
so you're
all-
talking about gravity being a pulling force.
Sure.
So mass attracting mass.
But
so
then there's also the third law of like the equal force, so it would just end up following the Earth's like circular motion.
Or you're talking about when we're traveling above it.
No, just the water.
Oh, you're saying so the water does, you believe water does bend on the surface?
No, I think water like experiences the same forces we do, and maybe it's not bending, but at every point that it's feeling a force, it's straight, but then it's turning too because the forces are in those.
But you know, like the oceans are all connected, right?
Uh-huh.
So you would say that the oceans are bending around the globe then, right?
No,
but
experiencing force.
But that force, is that force making it level, like straight? So how can it be straight on a ball? How can water be straight on a ball?
Beach, you know how it's like straight? Like that's your proof that it like is straight, right? But then there's also the whole thing about like the force. So as you turn, if you follow the ocean, like you're gonna keep.
It's because we really can't see that far. We can't see 3 miles into the distance.
Yeah.
With the water to measure the curvature. And even if there was, like, let's say 1 mile distance, if there was 8 inches of drop, you're not going to see the 8 inches.
I agree.
Of drop
In the
from
first
a mile.
mile, 8 inches, you wouldn't be able to see it, but you should be able to measure it. And even more if we go to the second mile, it increases even more. In the third mile, even more. By 10 miles, there should be 66 feet of curvature. That's like a six-story building. This number,
where does this come from?
The radius comes from the NASA, basically, from the mainstream. So this curvature formula, the numbers, the exact numbers per mile, they don't tell us these numbers for a very good reason, because again, when we put it into perspective, in reality, it's gonna fall apart. These numbers, obviously, water bending at this rate is ridiculous.
If it's so easy to come up with this information, how come everybody doesn't just believe this?
Well, you don't have to believe it. It's about understanding physics. And the reason why a lot of people haven't came across this is because it's actually being censored. So this is the #1 censored topic right now, by far. I've been into this. I came across this in 2016. And even then, it was already censored. So
how'd you come across it?
YouTube. You know, I got some recommendations. Some people were talking about it, and it just literally triggered something in my mind, and I just kept looking into it. And basically, I would doubt my own self, and I know a lot of people do that. Like, oh, I'm not an expert. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a scientist, right? So they automatically stop thinking. Most people. I didn't. I kept going. So this is elementary physics. A child can understand the surface of water doesn't bend. So the only way water bends is if we spin it and it bends upwards. Have you ever seen that before, like in a rotating container?
Isn't the Earth spinning?
Well, they do say it's spinning, but I don't know if you knew, when you spin a ball with water, what happens to the water on the ball if it's like slightly wet?
It turns.
I'm not sure.
The water gets flung out in all directions. Like if you spin water and it's wet, the water's gonna get pushed out. That's centrifugal force.
Keep it in?
Yeah, centrifugal force pushes everything out from the center point, right?
Centrifugal force, isn't that just a made up force though?
No.
Because I just learned that in physics. Centrifugal force is actually just a
it's an effect.
Force.
It's an effect.
Centrifugal force is the made up one, and then centripetal
I've
is
heard of
the
that.
real one, right?
But I'm talking about the effect when you spin something, when you spin a container and you have water in there or anything in there, like what do you call that, carousel or the carnival?
The one at the
playgrounds. When you spin and you're on there, what happens if you let go?
You get pushed.
Exactly. So they're telling us
but
that.
It's just inertia. But because we have
Why
the
doesn't that-
atmosphere force around it, so the way I see it
Right.
is like you have a fishbowl and it's
Right.
filled completely. But then because we're like also in orbit and all that, and there's so many different forces, those forces are keeping us in this fishbowl, and that water is already like shaped into the bowl.
So you're
you know
saying
what I mean?
Earth has a fishbowl container around it?
Yeah, basically. So like our atmosphere over here,
Yeah.
this is all like forces upon the water. that
Yeah,
you're-
you're based on the gravity,
and
right?
because it's spinning, we're also
Yeah.
feeling the turning effect,
Right.
you know?
So-
So that's just my like common sense thinking
Okay,
of how why the Earth is a circle.
Okay, I'm noticing that the main thing that's keeping you accepting this is this force, right? What if I told you that Einstein had to come up with his theory of relativity to debunk Newton's law, mass attracting mass, because the laws of motion proves that objects don't accelerate down. They actually decelerate.
Well, there is an acceleration. It's just it's not the negative acceleration.
That's
because it's down.
Well, Einstein would disagree with you. That's the reason he came up with his theory of relativity,
But
because
maybe that's why we don't learn about the Einstein theory. We learn about the Newton's one because the Einstein one isn't too accurate.
It's actually
in the class I took here, it was introduced, but it was said that Einstein was proved incorrect.
Well, put it this way. The laws of motion, have you guys heard of an accelerometer? Like your phone has an accelerometer. Everybody's phone has an accelerometer. So when you're so when you're driving on the freeway, for example, you have an app that it can measure your speed, for example. That's using GPS, but odometer kind of, but this is an accelerometer. So when you accelerate it and move your phone in one direction, it detects. So did you know that when you let go of an accelerometer in free fall, it doesn't detect any acceleration? So that's one of the reasons why Einstein had to come up with his theory of relativity, because physics proves that objects don't accelerate down. So this
Maybe
force
because
attracting.
It's not an acceleration. Technically, it's just a velocity because it's constant.
But when you're
Gravity's constant.
But the thing is that even if you claim that when you're holding it, technically it's still, and when you let it go, that's acceleration. It goes from 0 to movement.
But
that's
the
acceleration.
Acceleration is real quick, so I think it would be too like insignificant for it, and then it just becomes like constant velocity.
Okay. Well,
which is no acceleration.
Okay. Well, accelerometers detect any. I don't know how fast. 9.8 meters per second. You know how fast that is? 9.8 meters per second. That's 32 feet a second. Meaning in 2 seconds, that's faster than a Tesla.
Okay.
So basically, the fact that an accelerometer doesn't detect a drop faster than a Tesla basically proves that objects don't accelerate down. They decelerate, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Earth is in constant motion, going up. So when you're holding this, it's technically moving with everything. So when you let it go, it starts to decelerate because I'm giving it the force that's being transferred from underneath me, being pushed up. So as soon as I let it go, it starts to decelerate. So that's why the accelerometers don't detect any motion, or even a speedometer. If you point us like a radar gun, for example, you would think that something falling, you could detect the speed, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? You can't, because it's not accelerating down; it's decelerating.
But speed is different from acceleration, so the
but
radar gun would detect something, right?
But it doesn't. It doesn't detect anything because
but then that's saying that it's not moving at all.
The point is, that's the thing. This is not moving towards the ground. It's the ground moving towards this.
But
that's the reality. Yeah.
So your theory is?
But it's not a theory. It's based on the laws of physics. But you could say you could call it. I'll call it a scientific theory.
Sure.
The ground is moving though?
Yes, it's moving up relative to us.
Why?
Well, that's the part of the creation. That's another thing why they lie to us. This place was this place was intelligently designed, 100%. The thing is, nobody knows what that is. So every religion trying to tell you what how this place was created and what God is.
This place being the Earth, right?
The Earth, exactly. So everything about outer space, for example, it's all just concepts. And you know what a concept is? Just an idea, someone's imagination. So nobody's actually been outside of the Earth.
Okay.
One reason why is because we have air pressure here, right? In order to have air pressure, you need a solid container. So for example, like the tire in your car, right? It requires, a solid rubber to keep the air from escaping, right? Okay. Same thing with the Earth. There has to be some kind of solid container keeping the air from escaping. So what's outside of the Earth? It's not planets and outer space and all that. The fact is, nobody knows what's outside of the Earth.
You don't think it's just like the atmosphere is our solid container?
No, because the atmosphere requires a solid container. So the atmosphere cannot be the container. So the atmosphere cannot contain itself. Okay. That defies physics in a way. So it's like having a tire without a rubber. That wouldn't make any sense. The air would just equilibrate. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's what should happen if space did exist. We wouldn't be alive right now. So yeah, this place is 100% a creation, but I don't know what that is exactly. So some people would say this is heaven, on Earth. Some people would say this is hell. This is like a prison for. At the end of the day, I don't know. So I don't make any claims about how this place came to be and what it actually is. Okay. All I know is that the surface is level. Again, the second law of thermodynamics proves that we can have negative pressure, outer space, next to Earth's pressure without a solid container. And then the first law of thermodynamics proves that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only transform from one form to another. That proves that this place was created. Okay. So we can't come from nothing like they're trying to tell us. And we evolved from monkeys.
To be honest, I have very basic level of physics. I just probably failed my physics.
Yeah. Believe it or not, though, this is like I'm talking about. I know that there's like computer engineering that requires some physics. Like to build a phone, for example, requires physics. That's advanced physics. Mm-hmm. This is basic physics. What debunks the globe is elementary physics. You don't even have to be this expert in technology or expert in rocket technology. It's water. It's the surface of water. A child can understand it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a child can understand also that, again, if you pop a ball, for example, the air's just going to rush out. Because that's what air pressure does. It equilibrates unless there's a solid container. You know what I'm saying? Before you guys go, real quick, how would you guys describe the horizon? This is taken from 20 miles in the sky. Mm-hmm. So how would you guys describe the horizon geometrically?
Here it looks flat.
I would say it's horizontal, and I would say that's where the word horizon comes from the word horizontal. Mm-hmm. So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth is through CGI images like this. These are NASA images, by the way, official NASA images, or through GoPro cameras like this that warp horizontal lines. Are you guys familiar with the fisheye lens with the wide angle? So that warps the image, and that's the only way you're ever going to see curvature is through camera effects or through CGI cartoons, basically. So again, curvature of the Earth's water in specific, that defies physics. The surface of water, when you go to a lake, a pool, the surface of water will never bend, not even an inch. You know what I'm saying? So that's the physics that the mainstream is avoiding. They're never going to talk about the physics of water or the horizon, for example. They're gonna just talk about stories about the sky and try to convince people with that. And again, with the theory of gravity that objects get accelerated down, that's not true.
Well, I think you got a lot of unknowns. You got a lot of unknowns.
No.
Science got a lot of unknowns.
Okay, before you guys go, do you think there's a possibility that we have been lied to about what this place actually is, or are you guys 100% convinced?
Oh no, personally, I usually don't believe everything.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You have to keep an open mind.
Yeah, I definitely try to form my own opinions.
Okay, there you go.
But for this one, yeah, I'm definitely not 100% sold.
I'm glad. Some people would say they are.
Yeah,
you know.
It's just, I value the fact that so many people that have formed their own opinions have also came up with the same exact idea that the earth is round and here's why, given the information and it all sounding right. Whereas, because for me, it's like, I don't know anything else. It's like, I'll believe them until I hear something that disproves it.
Right. That's exactly how I was, yeah. So again, once this clicked in my head, water, for example, the surface of water not bending, you know, the horizon, you know, all these camera tricks that they're using, it just clicked, you know, and basically all the things that I didn't understand, like you said, it basically is just bullshit. It's just word salad. It's just theories based on nothing.
But then I wonder why there's such few people that believe that the earth is flat.
Well, here's the thing.
There's a lot more people that believe that the earth is round.
Well, there's a large group of flat earthers, right?
Wait, is that what you believe?
No. I'm not a flat earther. So I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. So a lot of these flat earthers, they've fallen into another psyop as well, and they don't even realize it. So here I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of these flat earthers will claim the earth is motionless. So in other words, they don't have an explanation to why things drop. So they just say it's just the way it is. So basically that's bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So they don't understand that there's physics going on that makes things appear to fall. That's the thing. Things only appear to fall because it's the earth that's coming in contact with them. So all of these people will try to misrepresent someone like me and say that the earth is motionless or it's accelerating. That's another thing, it's not accelerating, because if it was accelerating, our weight would be increasing. So if you weighed, like, for example, 140, 130, if the earth was accelerating, guess what? Your weight will be increasing by the second. And that's not what happens. So the earth is in constant motion. So it's not accelerating, and anybody claiming that it's accelerating is misrepresenting this. And again, anybody claiming that it's motionless as well is misrepresenting. The fact is it's in constant motion. And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of flat earthers don't realize. But they're just believing what they're told again. They just found the guy on YouTube and they just believe everything he says. But the fact is, objects don't accelerate down, they decelerate, you know. So I mean that's what physics shows us.
Are you a student here?
Oh, I'm not. No, I just come here to challenge the students, you know. Okay. I'm hoping I can get a conversation with a professor or something like that, you know. That way we could put them on blast, right?
You're making content?
Oh yeah. You guys want to check it out? Here, I can give you my flyer. So here's my flyer. And inside are the 6 main proofs that debunk the globe. You guys can check it.
Cool.
Okay, cool. You guys can check it out. So, have you guys heard of Euclidean plane geometry?
No.
So that's the geometry that's assumed to build everything we see, like railroads, bridges, you know, everything. So it's the assumption that the Earth is level. It's a plane, basically.
We got a couple of minutes. So
okay, no worries. So
it's good though.
Yeah. So I mean, do you guys have any questions? I mean.
Not really. I mean, like I would have a question, but I really don't have time. Like, to me, this isn't really important.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Why do I care?
Okay, I was gonna ask you. So if this doesn't matter, what does? If this was
like,
true.
If something came up where it's like we have a problem and all of a sudden we need to fix it, and this is like the one thing that comes up like in order to fix it, then I'd be like, okay, let me find out. Like, I'm gonna dig into this. But right now it's like nothing's wrong. It doesn't really affect me. It's cool.
Okay, so let's say.
Like all I care about is bowling.
Okay, hypothetically, if this was true, then hypothetically, is it okay to lie to children in school when they're 5 years old?
Like if you're saying.
Hypothetically, if this wasn't true, basically, if the globe wasn't true and we actually were being lied to.
If this was disproved.
If this was obviously false, right, and the Earth was a level plane.
Like a scientist approved it, was like, this is false.
I mean, let's say that they say it. Let's say that.
Regardless, the government's gonna maintain their agenda.
Exactly, they're not gonna address this. Exactly, you understand how the government works. You know.
Like, why would the kids care either?
Well, I mean, we grow up believing. I mean, if a grown-up adult believed in Santa Claus, would you take him serious?
Maybe.
I wouldn't. If a grown-up adult believed in and still wrote letters to Santa Claus and put his little stocking up, and he, I would say he's like a child still in his mind, and he just believes everything he's told. that's the same thing with the globe, in my opinion. If you grow up believing this, you still kind of have a child mentality.
I love being a child.
I mean, it's good to have a child at heart,
yeah.
but when it comes to your mind, that's how you could get. That's how people control you.
That's why I say, like, personally, I like to be a child about the earth, and I'd love to be an adult.
So you would prefer imagination over reality?
Period. Imagination's more fun.
I guess you could say that, but that's the thing, that with people could take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying?
But
well, I would say what
is the importance of
so
in general?
So if we're being
is there like engineering issues that we're doing shit wrong if we think it's
no. So obviously engineering is working, you know, because we're building, we're creating, and it's all on the assumption that the earth is a level plane.
All right.
Yeah, the only
Adios.
I don't eat, bro.
Give me your Crystal, give me your ID. I'll be right back.
All right. Oh man, I didn't even switch the camera on that one. Yeah, I just kind of walked away. But oh man, that was something else. I mean, some people just like to live in ignorance, I guess. Ignorance is bliss for some people. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is till it ain't. Yeah, so I did wanted to go over a few videos. So I'll probably get started with that now. Let me get this situated real quick. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I'm telling you, man, gravity, objects accelerating down, this force. I'm telling you, this is the biggest lie on earth. The claim that objects accelerate down, biggest lie on earth by far, in my opinion. Easily. Look how people can let go of the ball of earth just because they believe in this force. Literally, even though the mainstream already claimed it's not a force. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. If people at school, you know, at universities even, still believe in the mass attracting mass and that there's this force in the universe that basically makes everything spin in orbit and everything, you know, then the average person is actually going to believe that as well, you know. Not even college students realize that that's already been, you know, they're past that already. They're past the force keeping everything in, you know. They had to come up with the bending and warping of space-time because it's just common sense, you know, that objects don't accelerate down, you know. You know, I know that's a hard pill to swallow for some people, but it is what it is, man. I'm gonna go with what physics shows me, not with what someone tells me. Like, come on, especially if that someone telling me this doesn't have anything practical. Like, come on, man, that's just, come on, it's just it's a joke, you know what I'm saying? But let me see. All right, man. All right, so I mean, let me show you this real quick. Let me see if I have.
I just got a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Here, let me show you. So this is what the stars look like, because a lot of people would say, oh, what about other planets, right? Other planets. So this is using a P900 camera, which has 83 times optical zoom. So it's like a telescope, basically. So we're able to zoom into the stars, and as you can see, they're just twinkling lights in the sky. It looks like they're in water, you know, and they change colors too, by the way. So they're not static like that. They're actually changing colors, and they look like they're rippling. And then this is what the planets look like. You know, they're no different than the stars. So if you ask me, the fact that we're able to zoom into them and bring them into focus with only 83 times zoom tells me that they're in our visible space, for very close to us. So a lot of people would say that they're on the ceiling, because in my opinion, we do have a ceiling. Again, we have some kind of container. We have to. Earth is a contained system. And the fact that we have a pressure gradient as well tells us that the Earth is in motion and it's contained as well. You know, I don't know if you know about the pressure gradient. The higher you go, the less pressure there is above. Same thing when you go.
Yeah, it's like when you're in space, technically there's no gravity.
Supposedly, that's what they say. Yeah. But again, the pressure is, I don't know if you knew, pressure can only be created when something is pressing against something else. So like when I apply pressure, again, I'm pressing up against it. That's pressure. So the fact that the oceans and every water, you know, has pressure, and it tells us that the Earth is pressing up against us. So they're trying to tell us that it's a pulling force creating the pressure. But pulling forces don't exist. It's all pressure. It's all something pressing on something else. So how your engine works, it's all through your pistons. So, yeah.
Well, my last question.
Sure.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Nice catch.
Yeah.
So with all the sources that say otherwise,
right?
How would you
How?
Like how do you read all that
Right.
and still
Easy. So anybody making claims, for example, in the mainstream, all of these, if they don't have a practical demonstration for their claims, especially if they're claiming it's a theory, I don't take it serious. So that's simple. Everything in the mainstream is just theories and explanations without any proof, without anything practical. You know what I'm saying? All right, man.
I'll check you out, by the way.
Take care, man. Yeah.
Your name?
William.
William?
Like, yeah.
Armand. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So he came back real quick. Let me just put this away. See if I could get through the videos that I wanted to. All right. So real quick, real physics versus cartoon physics, right? Let's start off with the basics. So again, when it comes to water being level, or the earth being level in general, I guess. I don't have a water picture here. Whatever. So real physics, when it comes to level, this measurable, testable, repeatable, nobody could deny this, that water always finds its level, right? Again, people will try to redefine the word level. They try to find excuses. Oh, it does bend, but it doesn't bend, so it's still straight around the curve. I mean, like you guys just heard the girl talk. So again, water being level. So this is real physics. Now we go to cartoon physics right here. Again, water bending like this. It only exists as a cartoon. It only exists through a computer screen. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're using a GoPro, whether you're using CGI, it doesn't matter. If you believe the ball earth, you believe in cartoon physics when it comes to water bending. Pretty basic stuff. Water being the key, the substance to show us what's going on, right? So again, real quick. Now, when it comes to gravity holding the water into the ball, and that's what keeps the water sticking to the ball and bending the spin, right? They think people believe that the spin of the earth is what keeps the water stuck to the ball. But again, we go to physics, and what happens when you have water on a ball that's spinning? What happens? This is what happens. The water doesn't stick to it. It does the opposite. It gets pushed out from the center of rotation. And that's in anything that's rotating, It doesn't matter if it's a container or a ball like this, for example, They're trying to make us believe in this. They're trying to make us believe in this without the water being flung out. And it's this magical force of gravity that's pulling it in. Again, making people believe that objects accelerate down explains this fucking cartoon right here, this ball earth spinning. And apparently, in outer space, centrifugal effect, the force of the centrifugal effect, it does the opposite of what happens here in reality. Just like not having a container to maintain pressure. In outer space, it's the opposite, So not having a container next to the vacuum of space is also cartoon physics. So for the spin of the earth, outer space, bendy waters, it's all cartoon physics. And it's all based on the lie or the claim that objects accelerate down, So it's all these theories based on that theory as well, And once you realize that objects don't accelerate down, that the whole model falls apart. You know what I'm saying? So again, in order to have weight, you need pressure. And in order to have pressure, you need something pressing against something else. That's what gives you your weight. Your weight is your mass resisting. So your objects, your body, matter wants to be motionless. It wants to be motionless. It doesn't have any force to move it. So when something's pressing up against it, it's resisting that pressure, therefore creating the equal and opposite reaction, which is weight. So something has to be pressing against something else to create weight. So I'm just gonna highlight this. It's a 3-minute video, and it's about G-forces and showing how motion can recreate weight, and not only that, increase your weight as well. You know what I'm saying? Again, it has to be a container pressing up against you, or something pressing up against you, or that's what's gonna give you your weight. You know, so we'll go over the real physics and then we'll go over the cartoon physics. So we'll go over this video real quick. And again, this is reality. This is physics. This is let me see. This is what physics shows us. Let's see if I could get through this video.
Air Force fighter pilots can experience force in their bodies that most of us will.
Oh my God. Is there audio? I can't hear any audio. Could be because of the mic.
To get ready, they practice here.
Is there any audio in this?
We're at Brooke City Base, and this is the centrifuge. This is what we use.
Let me see.
To train our pilots on G-forces. G-forces are pretty much...
Oh man, I don't know if there's audio. Let me see if... Oh no, let me restart it. I don't know if there's any audio yet. Nobody's confirmed or didn't. It's gonna suck. If there's no audio, I'm not gonna be able to go over these videos. Let me see. Let me try open it again. No. Oh my God. Let me see right here. All right, oh no. Oh man, okay, let me see if I can change this. Okay, there we go. I think that's gonna fix it. Okay. Oh yeah, there was audio? I couldn't hear it for some reason. Let me see.
Air Force fighter pilots can experience force.
Summary right here. I'll go in after. How's it going? All right, so you want to give it a shot?
Sure.
So do you trust your common sense?
Probably not.
I mean, you should. You know, it's what keeps you alive. You know, if you ask me. So,
yeah.
So two very easy elementary level questions, and they have to do with water. So the orientation of water in specific. So, fun fact about water: when we have water and air in a bottle like this, for example, and the bottle's at rest, the water will always fill the bottom of the container and push the air to the top, regardless of the orientation. You know, water will always be on the bottom, and the air will always get pushed to the top. You know, that's a fact. You know, so since we understand that fact about water, you know, which one of these two water bottles, how I'm showing them to you, is not in the correct orientation?
This one.
All right, yeah, you got it. Why would you say this one?
Because the air is at the bottom instead of the top.
Right. So I actually took it like this. Yeah, you got it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, I took it upside down. So this is in the incorrect orientation. This is the correct orientation.
Oh.
No, but you got it, because, you know, obviously the air can sustain the water up. You know, the water always fills the bottom first. You know, so yeah, it's pretty easy, right? So you got one already. So another thing about water is that it always finds its level. So I could deviate the bottle, again, but the water always finds its level regardless, you know? It doesn't matter. So what could be another word for level? Since water always finds.
Like surface or?
Like if you had a level surface, for example, how could we describe that surface? Could we say equal, or?
Oh yeah, equal.
Yeah, horizontal will actually be the one-word definition for level, because if you have a straight line that's on a slope, it's not level.
Yeah,
it has to be a horizontal straight line, and that's what level means, right? So since we understand that fact about water as well, which one of these two represents level as we know it, A or B? Yeah, it's an obvious one, yeah, pretty easy. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You want to know how we were tricked?
How?
Do you believe the Earth is a ball?
Yes.
Right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius is 3,159 miles. So that means there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile it increases. So in the first mile, there's an 8-inch drop, second mile, 32 inches, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the water is going to show us that it's going to be parallel or horizontal.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what water does. but they're trying to tell us that the surface of water is bending 8 inches per mile squared. So 6 feet in 3 miles and 66 feet in 10 miles. So this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe Earth, a physical measurement of the Earth. So if I was to ask you, what's the #1 proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
Because, well, for like we've seen it, like obviously, like it's
So pictures, what do you say?
Yeah, pictures.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought those up. So they don't actually call them pictures, they actually call them images. And the reason they call them images is because they're made in a computer, so they're actually CGI, and they admit to this. So you know what CGI is, right? Yeah. So a real photograph from the Earth from outer space doesn't exist. So I know that's a big one for a lot of people. Yeah, when I realized that too, that was a huge red flag for me. So I just yeah. So again, video, same thing. Genuine video. I mean, if they can't get a photograph, a genuine, you know, there's obviously they're not gonna be able to get video. So how would you describe the horizon? So this is actually taken from 20 miles in the sky with a standard camera.
the horizon.
Yeah. So how would you describe the horizon?
Just pick like
These are all horizon pictures. But how would you describe it geometrically?
like parallel, like very flat,
Okay, yeah, you can say flat. There you go.
Yeah.
I would say horizontal would be the proper. I would say the word horizon.
horizontal.
Yeah, it comes from the word horizontal.
Yeah.
You know, so the only place you're ever gonna see curvature of the Earth again is through CGI images like this. These are official NASA images, or through GoPro cameras that warp horizontal lines like this. So like a wide angle lens. Are you familiar with the wide angle? So that's the only place you're ever gonna see curvature is through camera trickery, just to give a false perspective. But
That's
physics,
true.
yeah. So physics, water in specific, is gonna show us that the Earth is level. Have you heard of the term sea level to describe the oceans?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why they use that term is because the oceans are level, as in horizontal. You know, they're not bending around a ball. You know, that's like they're trying to make us believe. You know what I'm saying? So, is there anything else that makes you believe that there's a ball, besides pictures, or is pictures like the only thing?
I was also gonna say like I heard that like just people like something about like the sea level like
Are you talking about the high tide and low tide?
yeah.
It's how it goes up and goes down, right? The high
Yeah.
tide. So, in my opinion, the water, if you look up what the high tide and low tide are, it's a horizontal movement of water. So what's happening is the water is deviating slightly. And what that shows me is that the Earth is not, because the Earth is in motion. Because a lot of people would say that, well, what is gravity, right? If objects, if gravity is not a force that's pulling objects down, what's gravity? Well, gravity, how they describe it, it only makes objects appear to drop. But the reality is the Earth is coming in contact with it. So when you release the object, it's the Earth that's coming in contact with this. It's not this coming in contact with the ground. So the high tide and low tide, in my opinion, shows that we're not moving in a straight line because the ocean is deviating. It's reorientating itself. So in other words, the Earth is not moving in a straight line. It's kind of deviating in a way. And that's why we have a high tide and low tide. But the surface is always horizontal though. That's why it's called a horizontal movement of water. When you look up the high tides, yeah.
Also like another reason wouldn't it be like when you like let's say like if you literally just keep on walking like around the Earth, you're gonna end up like at the same
Okay,
spot.
I would say that's just a theory that people say. So when you're talking about like circumnavigation, east and west, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so east and west, again, nobody knows what the Earth actually looks like. But here, I'm sure you've seen this map before, right? So this is not what the Earth looks like. I don't want to misrepresent, because the fact is nobody knows what the Earth looks like. But this is basically just a globe flattened out in a way. Oh shoot, let me say. So circumnavigation, and people only do it east to west. So because the North Pole would just be a center point, compasses point north, right? So if you start going east and west, those would just be circles around a center point, east and west. What nobody's ever done in the history of mankind is circumnavigate north to south. So if you go south and then come back up to north, nobody's ever done that.
Really?
That doesn't exist. The opposite actually exists. People are not even allowed to explore south. There's an Antarctic treaty. I don't know if you heard of it. An Antarctic treaty, yeah, over 52 nations have signed it, and it prevents any civilians from independently exploring. So if you had an airplane and you were a pilot, you couldn't do this north to south, even if you wanted to. But put it this way, even if you did do it, you'll probably just die. Who knows where you end up over here? Nobody knows what's over here. That's the point. A lot of people would say that, again, Earth is a contained system. So outer space is just a story, it's made up. So we might hit a wall, or the container, or some people think that we might hit some other Earth ponds before we hit the wall, Some people believe the Earth is infinite, but that's ridiculous. I wouldn't go with that. Because again, the Earth has motion. Physics shows us that. You know, the water displaces, the water's level. Again, water's level relative to the motion, you know, to the vertical, you know. You know what a plumb line is? No, so it's when you have a weight and a string and it just goes straight down. So that will be considered a plumb line, a vertical, a true vertical, right? So water is always perpendicular to the vertical, which is the motion, you know. So again, like the fact that the high tide and low tide happens, you know, it just shows that we're not in a straight line, you know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. You think there's a possibility that we have been lied to about the nature of the Earth, or are you 100% convinced that it's a ball?
I don't think I'm 100% good. I feel like everything is sort of like theorized.
Okay,
in a way,
I like that.
I don't feel like that we have the answer to
Okay.
it and everything.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's just theories to everything.
So there is theories to a lot of things, but there is a lot of things we could prove. For example, if you put your hand on fire, your hand's gonna burn. That's a fact. We don't have to believe that fire's gonna burn you. That's a fact. Fire will burn you.
Yeah.
If you breathe water, you're gonna drown. So we don't have to theorize or believe that. We know that. So do you know the difference between a knowing and a belief?
Just one is like a known like fact.
Exactly. So a knowing, a fact, could be proven using the scientific method, like measurable, testable, repeatable, like burning your hand. We could all repeat that experiment and burn it. A belief cannot be backed up by the scientific method. It's just like religion, for example. You just have to believe it.
Yeah.
So water being level or Earth being level, it's scientifically proven because physics, again, we could do this experiment to physically measure to see if the surface of water bends, but physics, again, will show us that. So it becomes a knowing. I would say the globe Earth, on the other hand, it's a belief because there's no real experiments or, you know, there's no experiment backed by a scientific method to prove that water bends.
Okay,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
a theory.
Exactly. So the globe Earth is a theory, you know.
Okay.
But there is things, again, the fact that we could create technology, you know, have cars and so that just shows that we could prove things in physics. Again, the fact that we have factories making hundreds and hundreds of cars every day, you know, make thousands maybe, who knows. That just shows that the scientific method does work, you know, when applied in real physics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, the globe Earth is just conceptual. It's just, if you ask me, it's just a religion. It's the biggest religion on Earth. And I'm gonna tell you why.
I would say like a god.
A God is one of them, but a creation story, a way of life, and a God. And the government basically gives us all those with the globe Earth. They give us a creation story with the Big Bang and evolution. They give us a way of life with having to pay taxes and just obeying everything. And then they give us a God in the form of money. You know, because people worship money nowadays. You know, they believe that money is a solution to everything. Just like a religious person believes that just praying to God is a solution to everything. They literally worship a God like that. And our money system is no different. You know, I don't even know if you knew, our money is not even backed by gold anymore. So it's just faith-based. So the value of money is just based on our belief.
Yeah.
So again, it's literally the God for the atheist, if you ask me, money. And and it's being used to control us, you know.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. Yeah.
No,
I'm really like impressed by all your points here.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, do you have any questions for me?
No, I think you explained it all. I'm more surprised that we haven't like discovered.
Exactly. That's why I'm out here. I want to spread awareness. I want to know what's over here, but you know what I want to know more? What's at the north. That's even more restricted than the south. I don't know if you knew that. So the north, nobody's allowed to go to the north at all either. So I don't know if they actually enforce these military, you know. Military. Yeah, supposedly they're just like guarding, you know, make sure nobody goes there, you know.
Reservation.
Exactly, you know, camps and stuff like that they have. So if you ask me, the military is definitely exploring this place as we speak and keeping us in the dark. The fucked up part is that we're funding them. The army, it's funded by tax dollars, which is us. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're doing all this behind our backs, to me, is not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Like really not knowing what we're paying our taxes.
Exactly. Again, it's all just a big scam. This whole system, the monetary system, the whole military complex. You know, everything. It's just
not fair. Like,
exactly.
Really,
yeah, we're being fucked basically. You know, in a mass scale, and that's why I'm out here. You know, so. Let me see if a lot of people would say, oh, what about the stars? You know, what about the stars? So this is what the stars actually look like. And when people bring up the stars, by the way, to prove that the Earth is a globe, I would say that's a red herring, which means it's a false argument. Because looking up at the lights in the sky is not going to tell you anything about the ground you're standing on. You know what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, nobody knows what the stars actually are. And then this is what the planets look like. So they're just wandering stars. That's what they used to be called back in the day, wandering stars. Because these are fixed in our sky. Like, have you heard of the constellations?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because they're constant. That's where the word constellation comes from. So they just rotate above us. These, on the other hand, they have your unique paths. So they're not fixed with all the other ones. But this is what they're trying to show us, but this is what it actually looks like. So they want to make us believe that there are other Earth-like planets out there, and you know, again, just distracting from the fact that water doesn't bend. That's the number one proof, water, you know. So here, let me give you this. So in here is this, you could take this. Inside is the 6 main proofs that debunk the globe. And again, if you're interested in finding out more, that's just something to get you started, you know. And have you heard of Euclidean plane geometry?
No.
So it's the geometry that's used to construct everything we see, from railroads to bridges to roads, even everything. And it's basically done on the assumption that the Earth is a level plane. So spherical trigonometry or geometry is not used. Non-Euclidean geometry is not used. It's Euclidean plane geometry.
Okay.
So all the blueprints, in other words, are plumbs and levels, all straight lines, basically. The base, exactly, blueprints. You've never seen blueprints with curved lines. It doesn't exist, you know? So again, everything practical is gonna show us that the Earth is a level plane. Only stories and again, these expert scientists, I would call them pseudoscientists, are the ones telling us it's the opposite, you know? And a lot of people will ask, well, why would they lie, right? And it's about control, like I told you. It's just making us believe in concepts so that we believe in money, so that we just do what we're told, basically. So believing in this, if somebody believes in this, in my opinion, because I used to believe it too, it just shows me that you kind of have a childish mentality. Because if you've seen a grown adult that still believes in Santa Claus, will you take him serious? No, right? That's ridiculous. So the fact that we have adults that believe in water bending, you know, to me that just shows that you haven't developed fully, you know, mentally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just think it's very fucked up, you know, that we're supposed to trust the people that are here before us to tell us the truth and to guide us, right? But they're doing the opposite. They're just taking advantage of us. You know what I'm saying?
That's very interesting.
No, yeah, but I mean, you don't have to believe me, by the way. Again, that's why I give you links to look this in yourself. Because again, it's about you, you know, at the end of the day. Don't believe anybody, don't believe me, you know, understand your own common sense, you know, and what reality shows you. Water, you know, water is the key, believe it or not. Water is like the key to life and the key to showing us what this place actually is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, take care. Thanks for topping. Yeah, all right. Damn, man, the music's loud. Yeah, I need a haircut. Yeah, it's still pretty packed. All right. So there was audio, huh? Okay, so we're going back to the cartoon physics versus real physics, right? Shit, let me see if I can get this out of there. Okay, so back to this. This is real physics. And I guess it was confirmed that the audio did work. So if there's no audio, just let me know, and I'll see if I could try to fix it. Let me just make sure that we got something going on here. Okay.
Their bodies that most of us would never even come close to feeling. To get ready.
Man, I hate that I can't hear anything, but...
In the Air Force's human centrifuge.
We're at Brook City base, and this is the centrifuge. This is what we use to train our pilots.
All right, again, if you guys can't hear anything, just let me know. I'm just gonna let it play through, fuck it. I already know what he says. I'll just go over it after.
G-forces. G-forces are pretty much, if you've ever ridden a roller coaster, you kind of get that feeling your stomach's about to come out of your mouth. That's kind of what G-forces are.
Pilots experience them during sharp turns. The tighter and faster the turn, the greater the G-force. They call it pulling G's. To help them learn to pull G's safely, the Air Force does high G training in the centrifuge. Before training, the pilot gets checked out by a doctor and then fitted with an anti-G suit. It's like a giant blood pressure cuff that keeps the blood from pulling his legs.
G-forces stand for gravitational forces. We're at 1 G right now. That's actually what keeps us from floating in outer space.
Pilots can experience under 6G when they fly. That's 6 times the force of gravity.
If I was at 6G, my body would feel like if I weigh 100 pounds at 6G, my body would now weigh 600 pounds. My hand weighs 10 pounds at 6G, 60 pounds now. You can actually see how difficult it would be for a pilot to flip a switch here and have to do a lot of other things while pulling back on the stick.
Sometimes the G forces are so strong that pilots can lose consciousness. They call that G lock. So before they fly, they practice methods to avoid G lock in human centrifuge.
Next time, right? Hot, breathe.
As the centrifuge spins, the pilot's body is trying to go straight, but the direction is constantly changing. This pushes the body out. They call it a G-force, gravity force.
Again, motion is what creates weight. And if you want to increase your weight, you increase the motion. You know, oh, we got someone else coming. Give me a sec. How's it going?
Hi.
So you guys want to give it a shot?
Sure.
So 2 very easy questions about common sense. See if you guys trust your common sense. So they have to do with the orientation of water. So a fun fact about water, when you have water and air in a bottle like this and it's at rest, the water will always go to the bottom and push the air to the top, regardless of the orientation. You know, water will always go to the bottom and push the air to the top. That's a fact, you know? So since we understand that fact about water, I'm showing you these 2 water bottles. Which one is not in the correct orientation? I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see.
Not in the correct
Which one is
orientation.
not in the correct orientation? Okay, you got it. Yeah. Would you agree? Yeah. What would you say this one?
Because this one is upside down.
Okay, yeah, you got it. I took it like this.
Yeah.
It's because the water can't stick to the top. That's
Yeah.
obvious, right? Yeah, you guys got it.
I was right. Okay.
That's-
But then you could be holding up the water bottle upside down.
yeah, I did hold it upside down. I took the image like this.
See, I was right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one was in the, yeah. So, yeah, so the second one's even easier. Another thing about water is, again, regardless of the orientation, the water always finds its level. So I could deviate the bottle this way or this way, but water always finds its level, you know? What could be another word for level? If I had to use a different word.
It's hard for us.
I don't know. You
Could we
told
say horizontal will be the number one, the one word definition? Because if you have a straight line that's on a slope, it's not level. It has to be a horizontal straight line, right? So since we understand that fact about water as well, that it always finds its level, which one of these 2 is correct, A or B? When we're looking at the water.
water level. Correct.
Which one is correct?
A.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. So
I was looking at this. I was like, A.
yeah, so this one's deviating, obviously. So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you guys, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You guys want to know how we were tricked? Do you guys believe the Earth is a ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit, so they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius is 3,159 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile.
Yeah.
So in the first mile is an 8-inch drop, second mile 32 inches, and by the third mile they should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the lake is going to show us that the surface is going to be level or parallel to anything horizontal. But they're trying to tell us that it's bending 6 feet in 3 miles. So this will be the #1 experiment to debunk the globe, a physical measurement of the Earth.
Damn.
So if I was to ask you guys, what's the #1 proof that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball? Or reason?
That's what I learned in class.
Okay, it's what you were told. That's pretty honest. Okay, what about you? Same thing? Okay, that's pretty honest. Most people would say photographs from space, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if you guys knew, they don't actually call them photographs, they call them images. And the reason they call them images is because they actually make them in a computer, so they admit they're CGI. So a real photograph from the Earth from space doesn't exist. So it's all just
So
basically,
it's fake.
well, yeah, every image of the Earth from space like this, it's fake.
fake?
Yes. So yeah, every video from outer space as well. So just real quick before you guys go, this is images of the horizon from 20 miles up. How would you guys describe the horizon?
It's pretty flat.
Horizontal, exactly. I would say that's where the word horizon comes from, right? So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth, again, is through CGI images like this. These are official NASA images. Or through GoPro cameras that have a wide angle lens that warp horizontal lines. So that's the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth, because it doesn't exist. And physics shows us that, water in specific. Water will be the #1 proof. You know, do you guys have any questions for me? All right. Okay, so let me just give you guys this flyer, because this information is being censored heavily online. So these are the 6 main proofs that debunk the globe. They're inside, and then that's my channel as well. You can check it out if you're interested. Maybe you guys can see yourselves there later on.
Thank
All right, you guys take care.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, thank you. Hey man, how's it going?
What's it all about?
So, I want to see if you trust your common sense when it comes to orientation. You know what orientation is? Like that position of something?
Your sense of what position
Exactly, yeah. So, fun fact about water. Let me see if I can do this. When we have water and air in a bottle like this, and the bottle's at rest, we can say that the water will always fill the bottom and push the air to the top. That's a fact, right?
Yeah.
Because we could change the orientation of the bottle, and that doesn't matter. The water will always go down and push the air to the top. That's basic physics, right? Since we understand that fact, I painted the water blue just to make it easier to see, but which one of these 2 bottles is not in the correct orientation? How I'm showing them to you.
I feel like number 2 though.
Yeah. And why would you say number 2?
Because like the blue liquid, like that's not like, it's not possible though.
Exactly. It's impossible for the water to stick to the top like that, right?
Unless they're using some like, I don't know, magnet or something.
Would you think water's magnet could be magnetized?
I mean, if you inject it with ions, that's like the only
I would say it would just separate the ions. It wouldn't make the water stick with the ions.
Yeah, but I can't see any world that would be real though. I don't get that.
No, yeah. Well, actually, I did take this one like this. So I took it upside down like that, holding it.
I see.
So yeah, you got it though. This one was in the incorrect orientation. So yeah, you got it. So another thing about water is that it always finds its level, right? Would you agree or disagree? Because I could deviate the bottle, and it doesn't matter the size, you know, the water will always equalize, you know, it always form an equal surface. What could be another word for level if I had to use a different word?
Gradient? Not
Gradient?
Like, I don't know.
Even, well, people would use the word even, you know. But the one word definition for level is horizontal. You could look it up, because you could have a straight line, but if it's, you know, if it's a slope, it's not level. You know, it has to be a horizontal straight line. You know, so yeah. So again, based on the physics of water, which one represents water level as we know it?
Hold up. Shouldn't it be A? Should it be like?
Yeah.
It should be A.
Yeah, it's obvious. That's the obvious one. Yeah. So the real reason I do this is because, again, over 95% of the population have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You want to know how we were tricked?
Is it because like the NASA images and stuff?
You got it. Yeah, you heard me talking about them a little bit. Yeah. So I noticed you're just wearing a NASA shirt actually, or sweater. But yeah, the NASA images. That's the reason why most people believe this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. But again, reality, physics shows us that water doesn't bend on the surface. So NASA, in specific, they actually claim to have satellites orbiting. So here, let me see. I have here we go. So this is the radius they tell us the Earth is, because they're supposedly, you know, orbiting around it. So they need to know the radius of the Earth. So they tell us it's 3,959 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile it increases. So by the 3rd mile, there should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across, the lake is gonna show us that it's gonna be parallel or horizontal on the surface, right? But they're trying to tell us that the surface of that lake is bending 6 feet in 3 miles. But again, just like the water sticking to the top, water bending on the surface is also an impossibility. You know what I'm saying? It defies physics. So these images of the globe Earth that they're showing us with water, with oceans bending around it, that defies physics. So it's like me showing you a picture of me flying. Would you believe I could fly? No, because that image would defy physics, right? You don't believe magicians when they do tricks, when they make things disappear, and they could turn a rabbit into a bird and stuff like. You don't believe that they're actually doing that, right?
Yeah.
It's a trick, right? Because all of those things defy physics. So it's a trick because physics shows me that that's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So mean, do you have any questions for me about this topic? Have you heard of this topic before?
Water bending, like, is this like, I was thinking flat earth, I don't know why.
Yeah, you heard about that, right? So I try to
Yeah.
stay away from that word because that's how they're misrepresenting this topic. So I'm not a flat earther, by the way. I'm just a person that just doesn't believe the globe. I understand the physics of water shows me that the earth is a level plane.
Yeah, I get why it could be threatening. It's an interesting idea, though.
I would say that water being level is not an idea. I would say water bending is the idea. I would say water being level is physics. It's demonstrable. It can be measurable, testable, and repeatable. In other words, it goes by the scientific method. You know, the globe, on the other hand, doesn't. They don't have anything practical.
So if water can't bend, then like what's like the bigger picture here, though?
Yeah. So nobody knows what's outside of the earth. So this place is a creation, 100%. What that creator is or how this place came to be, nobody knows. That's a fact.
I've heard about that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I heard about the, this is a completely different theory, but there was a book that the CIA, like, some guy wrote about the Adam and Eve theory.
Oh, okay, okay.
How every 10,000 years, civilization goes through a great catastrophe of some kind.
Okay,
The
okay,
Mayans
okay.
recorded it, the ancient Indians recorded it.
I see. Yeah, it's like where the flood story comes in as well, right? Like the flood was one of these disasters. Yeah, I've heard of these stories, yeah.
Yeah, and something bad happened, like the civilizations, like something happened, like their society, though.
Right.
The big town turned, morality, whatnot.
Right.
But don't we know if the man up there was upset about things.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't make claims that I don't know. For example, what created this place, what God is, what we're supposed to be doing here. I don't know any of those answers. What I do know is that this place was created and that the surface of water is always level. And basically, have you heard of the term sea level? That's telling us that the oceans are level as well. That's how they measure height and depth from a horizontal baseline. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get accurate measurements across the plane to be congruent with each other. You know, that's how radio signals work, by measuring the height difference and stuff like that, based on the distance, you know.
Oh yeah, it has to like bounce off a solid surface.
I mean, depending on the antenna they use, obviously, but it's all straight. It's radio signals are straight like that.
Straight. They don't like do anything else.
They don't bend. The signals can't bend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But again, water will be what shows us, you know, what this place actually is.
Then what's outside of this world? What's outside?
I don't know. I don't think we could ever find out. Because think about this, the Earth has pressure. We have 14.7 psi here, allegedly. It's what keeps us breathing when we breathe air. Our air rushes into our lungs because the air's trying to escape right now. That's why we have air pressure. So that tells me that we have a container. So you're trying to ask, well, what's outside of the container? Right? I don't know. We haven't even been to the container to begin with.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
The Earth is a contained system. I mean, based on physics.
That makes a lot more sense.
It does. Exactly. Yeah. And another thing is, a lot of people would say, well, what is gravity, right? What is gravity? I don't know if you knew, the mass attracting mass theory, that objects accelerate down to the ground, that's been debunked by Einstein's theory because physics or the laws of motion proves that objects don't accelerate down towards the Earth. It's the Earth that is moving up towards the objects. So again, the Earth is a contained system that's in motion. So that's what gravity is basically. It's just the Earth coming in contact with everything, pressing up against everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what gives us pressure, that's what gives us weight. You know, that's why you have weight right now, because the Earth is pressing up against you. And your body's just it's basically resisting that pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's what creates your weight, the resistance of your body, or the object, or the mass, whatever that is.
Yeah, like the Apollo mission then.
I'm sorry?
We had the Apollo missions and stuff, but like, like it seems like Buzz. He's like, oh, we never went there though.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen some of those interviews, yeah.
Yeah, I was in, and I'm like.
A lot of people say he was just on drugs, or he's just crazy now, and.
Maybe I don't know.
No, but the fact is that they didn't. They never went up there. The Apollo missions were all staged. Yeah, 100%.
And then some of this stuff ties in like the Anunnaki theory, though.
Yeah.
That thing is a whole.
Check it out.
That thing is a whole different can of worms, though.
Yeah.
The Anunnaki theory, though.
Anunnaki theory? What is that? I never heard of that.
Anunnaki are like they're like the gods, though. They're like aliens or something.
So they're the what supposedly created this place, right? Or
I don't know.
I think I've heard theories like that. Like,
This contact is something you should not contact it or something.
Oh, okay.
So that's why maybe this is like the reason why for all this, though.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know the real reason why they're lying. It could just be that a lot of people won't be able to handle that this place is a closed system and we can't leave. So a lot of people say they're doing us to protect us, right? Like from that fact. But I would say, in my opinion, they're doing it to control us. At the end of the day, they could keep us, going around in circles about what this place is and what we actually are. Then we're just gonna believe everything we're told. You know what I'm saying? If we can commit to a common sense and accept reality for what it is, then we're just gonna be swayed by these experts, that are telling us how to live and what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they even like in university like research like studies like everything is like skewed though, right? They're playing with statistics.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing with theories basically, in a way.
It's up to someone else to figure out whether it's true or not. Though.
Yeah, but again, reality doesn't lie. People lie. So physics, understanding how substance behaves, for example, that's what's gonna show us what this place is, because people do lie. People, especially if you have money involved, people are gonna lie. So this lie, it's been driven by money right now. Again, NASA is one of the biggest, pushers of this. They get over 70 million a day. $70 million a day. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's over 20 billion a year. And that's nothing compared to what the military gets. The military gets over 200 million a day. That's who knows how many billion a year. Maybe like over 100 billion, 200 billion.
Keep them for the DoD.
Yeah.
Because my family
okay.
They work in the defense industry.
Oh,
right?
I see.
The DoD always no matter what happens, even if the government shut down, DoD will always get a budget increase. So nothing will change.
Yeah, I see. But I would say all that is just thievery, because if you're being forced to pay taxes, because if you ask me, taxes or it should be voluntary. If you want to contribute to a cause, then you should voluntarily, do that.
I mean, there's ways, but they will hunt you down though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would say that's part of the way they control us is by forcing everybody to basically do the same things, participate in the same things, because I'm still funding NASA, even though I don't agree with them, with my tax dollars. Every time I buy something, I pay taxes, I'm funding NASA as well, even though I completely go against what I'm completely against the military as well, I don't think we need a military. If we're going to defend our country, we shouldn't be doing it in other countries. We should be doing it here.
The rocket program was cool, though. The thing they did after World War II with Bernard von Braun.
Oh, yeah, the rocket.
It was interesting. This was... He was like a lead rocket scientist in Germany, and they brought him up here.
Yeah. One of the leading scientists one of the founders of NASA, I think it was Walt Disney, or something like that. He was involved with making the films, the Apollo films. Walt Disney was involved, which is funny.
Yeah, and NASA, I think it was they call it Operation Paperclip.
There you go. Hey, you're very knowledgeable. A lot of people don't know a lot about this stuff.
Thousands. Who knows what they did back there, though.
Yeah. Operation Paperclip. Yeah, there's a lot of CIA operations that went on back in the day. Yeah.
Even Klaus Schwab, though.
Yeah, they basically admit that they're lying to the American public. The CIA. They admit it. This back in I don't even know if it was the 50s or something like that. So I mean,
and that was the point.
Yeah,
that was the point, because the more distractions, the more confusion you create, people
the more easily you can control people, literally. Yeah. No, you're actually pretty knowledgeable, man. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't even know about the things going on behind the scenes, for example, like with the CIA and stuff like that. So I mean, you're a bit open-minded. The fact that you know about that stuff already, that's cool. So let me ask you this: you think there's a possibility that we have been lied to about the nature of the Earth, or are you 100% convinced that it's a ball?
I'm skeptical. I don't know.
That's good.
I don't know what is true here, but given the leveling thing, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, NASA, they do get things wrong though. But they keep telling us the same thing over and over again, and there could be a different view though.
Yeah. I mean, I would call NASA astronauts, for example, they're just no different than a magician. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to trick the onlooker to believing that they could defy physics. Again, just like a magician, they try to trick you to make you believe that they could defy physics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being up there in the ISS floating around, that doesn't exist. Again, nobody can leave the Earth.
Hey, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
I know. No, I know. It is. It's not easy. It's not easy to accept this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't expect to convince you right now. By the way, this is gonna take months. For you to actually look into this. And especially right now, this is the #1 censored topic online right now by far. Trust me, I've looked at 9/11. I've looked at.
For sure, I've heard about this.
By far, like this is the #1 censored topic.
Google, like the amount of searches and
the algorithm is all.
Your query is limited and everything.
Yeah. So if you're actually curious and looking, you're gonna get nothing but propaganda, misrepresenting, experts just dismissing this, and that's how they're keeping people away from it, literally. And that's why I'm out here giving it to people straight, because if I just rely on the internet, it's not gonna work. You know, this message is not gonna get out unless we're out here talking to real people. You know, because online you don't even know who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know. So anybody can make an account and just, you know.
Yeah, and then the CIA could be floating around.
100% they have agents in this topic, just like literally just trying to derail the like people's attention. That's what it is. So you'll have a lot of people on my comment section too. I wouldn't say they're CIA, but a lot of trolls are in my comments. They just talking shit, you know, like
like bots maybe. I don't know.
They could be sure, exactly. No, yeah, they could be. They could be. Yeah.
The CIA. I mean, they said it publicly. Yeah, we are interfering in every aspect of your life. Though we know we have files on like
almost everybody, basically. Yeah.
We know what you're up to on the day.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's like 340 million people. I don't know how they do it, but they do it though.
Yeah. Again, if you could control someone's mind, you can control their actions.
Perception, because reality.
That too. I mean, yeah. You can control your perception. It controls the outcome of how you act too, and everything. Believe it or not, you know. I would say the majority of people, over 90% of people, probably more, are not being themselves. You know, they believe what they're told. They believe what they're supposed to do here. You know what I'm saying? And that's who they become. You know what I'm saying? The reality is everything that we're told about this place and how to live, and it's all a lie. So,
but it seems like nowadays there's like more voices though.
I'm hoping that more and more voices speak up, you know, and speak for truth at least, you know what I'm saying? But
because like I mean, there's a lot of people my age who are like pretty much are like millionaires already.
Oh, okay,
college and stuff.
I would say,
yeah. They're already thinking outside the system, the box already.
I would say though, trying to find wealth through monetary, you know, means, I would say that's chasing your tail. Because again, money is being used to control us. A lot of people think that if you have a lot of money, you're independent, right? You're an independent person. The fact is, the more money you have, the more dependent you are. Because now you depend on people to do work for you in exchange for this money. So you're depending on others to do things for you now.
But some people, it's like they don't have money like in a bank or like in a certain area though. They have like assets, some other complicated financial arrangements though. But they're pretty much kind of free though. They can bounce around though.
Yeah, the less money you have, if you ask me, and the less money you use, the more free and more independent you actually are. So this whole idea of, I'm gonna become a millionaire and all this to be free, and you're chasing your tail. Yeah. You're going backwards, you know what I'm saying?
They've already silenced people already though.
Oh, they what?
They've already like silenced people already. Like,
yeah, anybody.
Someone missing here and there though. You hear something going on.
Yeah. Just like the guy that invented the car that runs on water. Supposedly a month later he disappeared. Whether that's true or not, you know, I don't know.
Suspicious though.
Yeah, it is.
Accidental, like something. He said I'm being poisoned. That's what I heard. It was like the last thing he said though.
Okay.
Like there's something in my drink.
Oh shit, that's crazy. No, yeah, it's a lot of shady shit going on here. That's for sure. You know.
Yeah, and it's in the federal government, it's like such a big bureaucracy though. There's so much going on.
It's so compartmentalized so that nobody actually figures out what's going on. Everybody just does it for money. As long as you're getting paid and you're getting your piece of the pie, nobody speaks out. And if you do speak out, guess what? They just remove you.
The bonds of the Constitution though.
Yep, that's true. I mean, they're literally violating the right to land aspects, for example, because in the Constitution has that right to land, meaning we all have the right to, you know, go on a piece of land, build our shelter, and grow our own food if we wanted to, but not in this society. You're not just allowed to just get a piece of land and claim it for yourself. You have to go through there. Exactly. Yeah. So that's a violation of the Constitution.
Even when you're born, the day you're born, though, you have a government like ID assigned to you, though,
yeah,
or something, some number. It was on a show called Disjointed or something on Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
They took down that one episode. I remember that. Like,
oh, really?
I was like, that's insane. What the?
They tell you a lot of truth in TV shows and movies like that because a lot of people won't take it serious because it's just a movie, right? But little do you know, that's exactly what they're doing to us in reality. A lot of these plots that they use in movies, you know, a lot of these it's just they're just getting it from reality. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of truth is in these TV shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
but anything, they censor, especially when it comes to NASA or anything they do, though. Especially that, though.
Yeah.
I've heard of that thing, like, we've not seen space or anything. Yeah, like, all the entries, like, it's like some, like, guy in the basement, making videos.
yeah, that's how it usually is, yeah. No, yeah, anything about space that they're showing us nebulas, black holes, all this bullshit about outer space is all CGI. You know, the fact is, this is what the sky looks like. Look, this is what the stars look like. Anybody showing you like balls like this, it's bullshit. It's just cartoons. This is what the planets look like. There's just lights in the sky that are twinkling. You know, nobody knows what they are. The fact, you know, but
it's crazy.
No, yeah, man. Like, it's again, this is the #1 censored topic because it's the biggest topic on earth right now. To find out that we're being lied to.
Yeah, there's a lot of skeptics. There's a big community online, though.
Yeah, a lot of flat earthers, right?
Not all of them are flat earthers. Like, some people are like, they're like skeptical. They just like point at things that they told you, though.
Right. No, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of skeptical. Yeah, they don't buy the story 100% basically. Like evolution, for example, a lot of people are skeptical about evolution, or the Big Bang, for example. You know. But these are just creation stories. Just like any other religion will give you a creation story.
I mean, it's your own truth, though.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know how this place came to be. Actually, I'm okay with saying that I don't know. You know, I'm not scared to say I don't know. So having beliefs of what this place is, I think, opens the door to being deceived. Yeah. So I just don't have beliefs. I have ideas. You know, I can theorize about ideas, but to believe him, that means I'm committing to an idea, and I'm never gonna commit to an idea because an idea cannot be proven. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an idea; it'll be a fact. You know, so I don't believe in my ideas. You know, I just have ideas. So I can theorize and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I don't know. You know, beliefs. If you ask me, again, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but having beliefs just shows me that you're weak-minded. You need certainty. You want like a comfort blanket. You want to know, but the fact is we don't know. So that's where religion comes in, you know, to give people that certainty, you know.
I think every idea should be criticized. Everything, like, as a citizen, as a member of a free society, you have it's your right to criticize like literally anything, though.
Yeah, we should. If we don't criticize ideas, then what are we doing here? We're just following, you know, what anybody says. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like the gentleman over there with the Palestinian flag over there, though.
Oh yeah, Palestinian flag. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen like it's
I actually don't even bother with that topic right now. I know I've heard a lot about the Free Palestine and all this stuff. Like, I know, you know, I don't live there, so I don't even get involved. If I live there, then you know.
I know, like, you want to get the true sense about it, though.
Yeah.
It's like anything happens somewhere else, and
it's none of your business. I hate to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
And people have this hero mentality that, we gotta go save them, we gotta fundraise and send money to help them, or we gotta send troops, or we gotta, you know, this mentality.
No, let's not put troops somewhere else. No more war.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. I mean, do you have any questions for me about this topic? I mean,
I'm good.
No, yeah. Before you go, if this was true, you know, that we are being lied to about the nature of the Earth, right? If that was true, hypothetically, would that be something important to know?
Yeah, and I would be pretty comfortable with that, given the shit that I read online, though. Like, this is like there's other theories, though, like that would like absolutely blow my mind, though.
Okay.
Like, a flat Earth was true, that would actually like blow my mind. No way.
Right.
It's actually true, though.
Right? No, yeah. So here, let me give you. I'm gonna give you a flyer, right? So here's that's my channel. You can check it out. But inside is the 6 main proofs that debunk the globe. You can open it, and
this is good.
Yeah.
I've seen a diagram of this online.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Clouds formation. Yeah,
it's undeniable, man. It's undeniable.
Like a Disney film. This looks like the Disney, like the Walt Disney when the castle comes in the movie.
Okay, right.
Looks like that.
Right. Yeah, but that's reality right there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane.
Yeah.
If this is true, this would probably like be the biggest cover up, though, in
human existence, human history. Yeah. It is, man. It is. Again, I don't expect to convince you right now, but yeah, once you realize this and accept, man, it's gonna change your world completely.
I'm open to the idea, though.
No, that's good.
I'm open to
that's
the
good.
idea. I don't.
Trust me, when I first heard about this, I completely dismissed it. I didn't even, you know, actually listen like you're listening right now. I just ignored it until one day, I was like, let me look into this just so I could get it out of my mind already, right?
Yeah.
I looked into it and it just started to make sense. I was like, holy shit, like this is actually, holy shit.
Yeah, and then even like it's just like NASA. There's like so much like
anomalies.
Publish something. There's like something that's weird though.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they make cool stuff. They got the propulsion laboratory.
Yeah.
Rockets.
Yeah. They do create some technologies. They
but
do.
If it comes like to weather, any like data on like they have on weather stuff like weather space, it's like
it's very choppy, right? Not very clear.
It's like I thought like if it's science, it should be like more clear. I'm explaining like
right.
certain ideas though, like
or maybe the Earth is just a level plane.
Yeah, or maybe they just didn't explain it well, and that they meant level plane.
Right. Actually, in their I don't know if it's NASA in specific, but when I think it's pilots. There you go. When they're training, the text that they read, basically like the instructions about everything, it basically says that when they're flying over with an airplane, that it's done over a non-rotating level surface. So you know how they say the Earth is spinning supposedly? So the fact is the Earth is not spinning and it's a level surface. And pilots know this when they train. They tell them that. Assume that the Earth is a level plane that's not rotating.
If it's not spinning, then it's really important. It's really important for like the spin. It's very important for the magnetic field, or what they say is like.
Yeah, so you're saying, so the north, actually, there is a magnetic field coming from the north. That's why compasses point north, right?
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the spin, the magnetic field.
I thought it was important for like, this, if it doesn't like, if they go, oh wait, actually, never mind. If we're inside a closed system,
yeah.
That hit me. I was like, wait, the pilots are not even outside Earth. They're still in like the upper limits, but that means they're still inside the system, though.
Yeah, the lights in the sky again. They're within the system. They have to be.
Like a Carnot engine, like a thermo.
Yeah.
Like there's like the experiments in physics, like everything, like forces and stuff. It's within a system, like the Earth.
Yeah. Like when I don't know if you knew this, pilots when they undergo G-force training. Have you heard of that? G-force training?
Oh yeah, the G stuff.
The G, so I increase. So right now on Earth we're at 1 Gs, right? And then when pilots fly, they can experience 5 Gs, even 6 Gs, up to 9 Gs, when they're flying. And all of that is done through motion. So something has to be, again, you have to have a contained system that's accelerated, and that's what creates more G-force. So the fact that the Earth has 1 G-force tells us that it's already in constant motion. So that's the G-force. So you increase that acceleration, you get more G-force, and then your body gets more heavy, and you can't even move. That's why a lot of pilots have to go through this training in a centrifuge. They spin them around, and your body just gets really heavy because when you accelerate a container,
Yeah, like it's like this is like military stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
yeah.
They do like routine like patrols and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
If they go over in like foreign airspace, they gotta like it's crazy.
No, yeah,
they gotta like twist and turn the entire plane though.
Yeah, and that's what creates that G-force because you're changing direction now. It's pressing up against you now. It's pretty crazy, man. But I mean, any questions that popped in your head before you go?
Doesn't matter how large Spear is. Point of reference. Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense than anything else.
Yeah, the horizon always rises with you. If it's a sloping horizon, it should never rise with you. So the horizon is apparent. It's just the limit of how far we could see.
Yeah.
So
because I live by the I live in an area called the South Bay, which is like all the coastal like part of LA.
Okay.
And I could see the ocean from my house.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it's sloping down. It's like
it's just horizontal left to right.
Horizontal.
Yeah. Can I show you a graph real quick, just so maybe you could understand it a little better? So when we're looking at the horizon, again, that's just the limit of perspective. So let me just show you this graph first. So when we're looking at straight lines, for example, like train tracks right here, we know these train tracks are not coming together, right?
That would make sense.
They're coming they're parallel, but the way we look at them, like from this perspective, it looks like they're coming together. But train tracks are parallel. We know that. You know, they wouldn't work if the train tracks come together like that. So the way we see is through spherical eyes. So the geometry of vision is different from the geometry of the Earth. So we actually have spherical vision, basically.
Yeah, like.
So everything shrinks to a point like that.
Like, and the eye also like rotates too, right?
Well, yeah, when we rotate left and right, yeah. Like it's on an axis, you could say that, yeah. But again, we have spherical vision. So what that means is that if we're looking at a graph like this, for example, look, this arc represents our eye because obviously our eyes are spherical. So this arc represents our eye. I just zoomed it up right here, but it's basically here. But just so we can see the lines, this line on the bottom will represent the ground or the ocean, right? The further that line gets from your eye, the more it appears to rise in your field of view. Look at that. And same thing happens from the top. Everything shrinks to the center of your eye, which will be the eye line. And the eye line basically is just your horizon. So, you know what I'm saying? So it only appears to rise in your eye when you look further down. But the fact is, you know, that it's not rising. It's just an apparent thing that happens. And
it's just straight.
It's just straight in front of you.
Or straight down. Depends on where you're looking, but it's straight.
It's just straight in front of you, and it always appears to rise to your eye level. So if you elevate 5 miles in the sky, like from an airplane, the horizon's still right in front of you. And again, because it's just an apparent thing that the ground is just being extended in front of you.
See.
Again, if the ground was curving down, think about that. That line would never rise up to your middle of your eye.
Oh yeah, that would it would have to go.
Yeah, it's like going down. It's like looking down a hill. That the end of the hill will never rise up in front of you, especially when you elevate. It will just get lower and lower and lower. You know, that never happens in reality. You know what I'm saying?
It's like basic common sense.
It is. It is.
Like NASA, they actually said that about water.
Well, they avoid water completely. They don't even talk about the physics of water. They just show you images about the sky and what they're supposedly doing up there. They'll show you astronauts floating in the ISS. You know, but there's a lot of anomalies with that, like blue screens. They use blue screens or green screens, and
you could be using like a zero gravity chamber.
They actually use zero-G planes. You heard of those?
Oh
the
yeah.
Parabolic flights.
Yeah, you could like rent them out. Yeah, those look pretty fun.
You could have zero-G for about, I want to say a minute, maybe second, maybe 20 to 40 seconds, 45.
Yeah, like or your body just.
It's just weightless. It's weightlessness. Yeah. So they say that they film some parts like that, and then other parts they film both basically.
Well, then it just seems like a well-produced, seems like a well-produced TV show then.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's actually once you pay attention though, there's so many anomalies. Like
Especially with Buzz like that. Like I saw that video of Buzz Aldrin, and I was like he looks like he doesn't look like he has dementia or anything. He looks he looks in good health, but like, why is he saying this to a kid? Like, we didn't go there.
A lot of people think that his guilty conscience couldn't lie to her, so he just had to tell her the truth, right? Kind of like subliminally, right? But
hey, I mean they'll get softer on kids though.
That's why.
And kids are always a good indication, a litmus test for kids.
That's one of the main reasons why I do this, is because I don't think it's fair that children are being lied to about their entire existence, and they're growing up trusting these people that, in my opinion, are just there to take advantage of us. You know what I'm saying? We are being taken advantage of people that we trust, you know, and that's why this lie got to where it is, because we trust too much without facts. You know what I'm saying? We just believe. We doubt our own common sense.
I feel like over the last 4 years, whatever they say, no one believes it. Everyone knows it's something off though.
Yeah. Again, if you want to know something, you got to prove it to yourself. You know, otherwise it's just a belief, and beliefs open the door to being deceived. You know, so yeah, that's why if you tell me a story, I know this might sound fucked up, but I don't even believe my parents' story when they were kids. Like, I don't have no doubt to not believe them, but actually, me believing it doesn't make a difference either. Like, it's a cool story, you know, but you know, I don't believe anything, any stories, especially. You know, I'm okay with not believing. You know.
No, I'm fine though. I don't want something to be shoved down my throat. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Being like, you have to believe this. I know.
I think that's one of the reasons why everybody hates school from a very young age, because we're being forced a lot of information we don't want to learn. Because kids are like a sponge. You know, I have a 3-year-old, and they want to do everything themselves. They want to learn everything themselves. They want to do everything themselves. But the minute that you force them to do something they don't want to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? That's what school does to us. They force us things that we don't even care about, and it makes us hate learning.
I mean, look at the man who made public education in this country, Horace Mann. Look what he said. What he said about the purpose of what we're supposed to do here, though.
Okay. What did he say?
If the point of public education was like, well, I don't remember the quote, but if the point of public education is supposed to produce like, you know, well-educated members of society, right? Mm-hmm. And you give them all the tools to like
to succeed, basically. Yeah.
But that wasn't the point. It's just to quickly create.
No, yeah.
It's supposed to like create as much like
confusion in a way.
Because you need all these people for factories. You just educate them enough to be factory workers, though.
You got it, yeah. Smart enough to work the machine, but not smart enough to realize that that job is pointless.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
I think with kids, like you know, like then they then there's when they have like they claim it's behavioral issues and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just not in our nature to force stuff like that. So when kids again they act out or they don't follow the curriculum, they just classify them as dumb. So they gaslight kids that don't, you know, it's crazy, man. Yeah, exactly. And they give them some medication and now they're compliant, you know. So again, one of the biggest issues in society is voluntary compliance, you know. What is it? What's the saying? Okay, the problem is not civil disobedience. The problem is civil obedience. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, like
I forgot where I heard that quote from, but yeah, it's a pretty famous quote.
Maybe Mahatma Gandhi, I'm not sure.
Right, I think so, something like that. But yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. The problem is civil obedience.
Maybe Nelson Mandela, I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. I think I heard.
Sense.
But it does make sense. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
No, actually, fuck that. That's bullshit.
Okay.
What is it?
I'm just challenging people's common sense. You know.
Do it. Do it.
You want to give it a shot?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay. I'll do one question, see if you get it.
Go.
So when we have water and air in a bottle like this.
Cool. Thank you, brother.
Oh, yeah. Take care, man. Would we agree that water always fills the bottom and push the air to the top?
I don't know.
Nah.
What is it?
Here, tell you what.
What did you say?
Here.
I spaced out.
Here you go.
A few times with a
Take a look. That's what I'm talking about. You could look inside.
Oh, I'm definitely not.
Or you could take it with your.
I don't watch TV. I don't listen to music.
Oh, it's YouTube, but yeah.
I read.
You read? Okay.
I definitely not. I'm probably one of the least brainwashed individuals. So.
Okay. There you go.
You watch TV? You watch Netflix?
No.
You don't watch Netflix?
Nah, I only watch YouTube here and there, like sports highlights and stuff like that.
Sports is totally brainwashed.
Oh yeah, it is. I only do it for entertainment, like nothing serious.
That's how you get brainwashed. That's how you let it in.
I played soccer when for example, I watched soccer. I actually played it growing up. I really loved the sport, so I only watch it for the love of the sport. I don't idolize any player, any team, nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. You could say that.
Come on.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe the Earth is a ball?
No, I believe the Earth is a hologram.
A hologram. But what about geometrically? Does the ground concave, convex, or straight?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Irrelevant.
I would say that's a brainwash response.
Simulation.
I would say simulation's kind of. I would say
I know for a fact that Earth is multi-dimensional.
I would say Earth is more like a machine.
Yeah.
But a machine is different from a hologram.
They're similar, bro.
I would say Earth is like a machine.
I said hologram because that would be something a relatable term we could latch onto, like have come around with. But yeah, you're right. It's more like a robot or a AI.
Like a machine, an intelligently designed machine. I would say. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I feel like the shape is absolutely irrelevant.
I would say it's not, especially if you believe in the ball Earth and outer space. I would say that completely disconnects you. No, but most people here do.
I believe it's more like a. Have you seen a 4D chess?
4D chess?
Yeah.
No.
It has like layers of chessboard, like this.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it. No. Okay.
There's dimensions to it.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's
underground.
I would say.
There's an underground part.
Oh yeah, there's definitely military bases underground. That's true. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's weird shit going on.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of weird shit going on. Yeah.
Doing shit under right now.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, and it's all under the guise that they're doing it for that the government's there to help us.
There's other weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Well, some of it is. I know.
No, I mean, I bet. No, yeah. This place is a trip, man.
There's homeless dudes living all on the ground right now.
Okay.
All of them used.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole civilization.
Oh, okay, I see. I bet.
But did you know there's a second sun at the center of the moon?
I've heard of that, but I don't like to make claims I can't confirm 100%. So I've heard of these stories.
Says
Yeah.
there's a molten ball of magma at the center of the planet.
That's what they say. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But the Earth is not a ball, though. That's impossible.
Every star is actually born. It's a stargate. The sun is the stargate. It's the
Right.
center of the stargate.
Right, right.
Our spirit and our thoughts and energy goes to the center of the earth. Like the sun.
I wouldn't disagree that the sun does give us all the energy, you know, but
But we're powering our own energy. We're spirits.
yeah, we have an inner energy in us, yeah,
Right.
our consciousness, yeah,
And it's from God.
yeah, our free will,
Right.
Yeah.
Our spirit from God goes simply with our thoughts. That's how we manifest things.
okay,
Because we think about something and it goes to the center, goes to the second sun, the inner sun.
okay,
And that sun shines down and gives life to
Okay.
the things that we think.
okay,
That's how
Fair enough.
things manifest. In
Right,
the
right.
world.
oh, yeah, I've heard of that ideology, yeah,
The
Yeah.
sun is a mind.
yeah,
But that sun turns into light.
right, okay, no, yeah, I've heard of that before,
Every star is actually a stargate to a different type of Earth, different version of Earth.
okay, I've heard of
Earth is
that,
the main show.
right,
There's no out there. It's all versions of Earth. It's all
okay,
various alternate.
yeah, that aligns a lot with spirituality, yeah, I've
Have
heard
you
of
seen
it.
Stargate?
I have not, I've heard of it, yeah,
Stargate. But it goes to this other planet and they're speaking like a form of Egyptian.
okay,
And you're like, why?
yeah, all right, fair enough.
Hello. How are you? You ever date a homeless man? Would you ever? Don't answer that.
All right.
Anyway, very nice to
All right,
meet
man. Yeah, nice to meet you too, man.
you. Are you
This
religious
is yours,
at
right?
all?
Oh no, this is yours?
Hell yeah, that's me.
No, yeah, no, I'm not religious, but I do know there's a creator. Yeah, I know there's a creator or a purpose.
Hey man, you got an old backpack. Don't say
No, I actually don't.
Listen,
Yeah, I don't
say
go to
no,
school
bro.
right now. I'm actually
Don't
just
say
here.
no, bro. I guarantee you, in your room, in your house, whatever, there's an old junky backpack with a broken zipper. But anyway,
Yeah. All right, man.
next time, that's a bring on response. Just instantly react.
Yeah,
You didn't even think about it.
yeah. Well, that's the thing though. If I did have one, I couldn't even give you one right now because I have.
See, now you're thinking about the
Yeah,
response.
you're right.
Instantly react. That's brainwash. Homeless man asked me for something. No.
No, you're right though.
Brainwash.
My response was that I couldn't even give you one right now, even if. But yeah.
Now that's much more.
Most a more honest response.
That's very much more.
Yeah, man. All right, man. You taught me something today.
That's something.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
God bless you.
You too, man. Take care. All right, let's finish this video real quick. I wanted to get to the cartoon physics of motion real quick. Let me just get through this video real quick. Oh man, it's gonna be good. Trust me. So this is real physics when it comes to increasing your weight or creating weight and reorientating that weight. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'll just finish it. It's already almost done.
Actually a measure of acceleration. Acceleration is the change in velocity over the change in time. Velocity is determined by both speed and direction. So even if the speed stays the same, because the direction is constantly changing, there's acceleration. This outward force is called centrifugal force, and it's expressed as a multiple of g. An untrained person might black out between 4 and 6g, but a trained pilot wearing an anti-G suit and using the straining maneuver can go up to 9g in the centrifuge, just like this pilot did today.
There's a lot of math and science involved with this, and I would just say, study, make sure you're doing the right things at school, and hopefully maybe one day you actually will get to work with a centrifuge.
All right.
I've been here for about 4.5 years.
All right, so that's a practical demonstration of how you can increase the G-force or the pressure that increases your weight is through having a contained system that's in motion. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's physics, that's reality. It's demonstrable, measurable, repeatable, testable. You cannot deny that. If you deny that, then you're a physics denier. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? But now this is cartoon physics if the Earth was motionless. This is the kind of physics you have to believe in if the Earth is motionless. You know, like, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, this is cartoon physics, and of course it's going to be a cartoon, because again, this is a kind of demonstration a stationary earther would have to recreate in order to even postulate that claim that objects accelerate down. So this is the kind of physics you're literally defending. You know, it's pathetic. So right here you have your stationary Earth right here, the Capsule Corp machine. For those of you who watch Dragon Ball Z, you probably already know what this is, but yeah, this is your stationary Earth right here, right? And let's increase the weight. Let's see how they do it.
Whatever Vegeta can take, I can take too. 300 times more with gravity shouldn't be that tough. I'm sure.
Oh, look. Look at that. Look at this. Look at the gravitational force. You can see the little lines. Look at that. That's the force right there. That's the kind of force you have to believe in that can create, you know, the pressure gradient and weight and orientation. Not only that, if you were to turn this spaceship on its side, like turn it on its side, technically you should be able to walk on the wall. You should be stuck to the wall if you turn this machine on its side to reorientate this, right? That's ridiculous. But this is what people have to believe if you believe the Earth is stationary. You have to believe in a force or a cause. Yeah, because I know you guys are going to say, it's not a force. It's not a force. Well, it's a cause. There's a cause and effect. So there's a cause. You have to believe in a cause like this to accelerate everything at the same rate to top it off. Like, it's pathetic. Gravity stretch lines.
Maybe this wasn't such a great idea after all.
This is your motionless Earth physics, by the way. Like, literally, if you cannot see that this is the kind of physics you have to believe in to have all the effects of motion without motion of the container, this is it right here. This is the cartoon physics you believe in.
I'll be turned into a pancake if I don't turn this thing off. Come on, just a little
So whether you claim electrostatics or the ether doing it or something, you're gonna need a practical demonstration like just showed, like that, to even take it serious. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you have nothing, you know, no practical demonstration like that, again, you have to have a contained system and you have to recreate weight, pressure, orientation, you know, all that without motion of the container. Good luck. I'll be waiting for the experiment, by the way. It has to be something similar to that. There's literally no other way if you claim the Earth is motionless. If you think a magical force in the air, it's pressing on the air and every object as well down, what the fuck is this cause or force or thing? What is this thing in the air that creates this gravity force or this force? You know, you could claim that the cause is not a force, but the effects, you know, it's still motion, it's still acceleration, you know. And again, physics shows that you need a force to have motion. So again, you could dance around it, you could do all this bullshit, but until you have a practical demonstration like that, which it's gonna be impossible, good luck, you know. But I'll be waiting. I'll wait for the demonstration of your claims to then even take it serious. If you don't have anything practical, then you can't get mad at me for laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get triggered because I'm laughing at your word salad that doesn't have anything practical, you know, you're a joke. You might not realize it yet, you know. Hopefully you humble yourself and eventually and accept reality for what it is, but you can't get mad at me for laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned, based on the lack of practical demonstrations from stationary earthers, you know, they're reality deniers at the end of the day. You know, motionless flat earthers are straight up reality deniers. Here's another thing. If you claim the earth is flat and motionless, you're claiming that the earth doesn't have orientation. You're literally claiming that earth doesn't have orientation, and that orientation is programmed into the matter that's above it. So in your model, in your claim, I don't even say model, but earth doesn't have orientation. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's weird. You know what I'm saying? The fact is, Earth does have orientation. You know, it's what gives everything its orientation. That's why when things are in contact with the Earth, they have orientation. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you need motion to have orientation. That's why if you claim the Earth is stationary, then the Earth is not level. Technically, it's just flat. Why? Because it doesn't have orientation. You know, because it's motionless. But when things are not connected to the Earth, then you don't have orientation. You know, when you're in free fall, you're weightless. You experience weightlessness, you know, whatever. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but you don't have orientation either. You don't know what's up from down, left to right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no sense of direction. That's because you're not accelerating in any direction, you know. What's up, man? All right, so 2 very easy questions, you know. Let's see if you could get at least one of 2. So they actually have to do with the orientation of water. So fun fact is, when we have water and air in a bottle like this and it's at rest, the water will always go towards the bottom and push the air to the top, regardless of the orientation of the bottle. You know, water will always go to the bottom and push the air to the top. That's a fact, right? Yeah. Since we understand that fact about water, I painted the water blue with food coloring just to make it easier to see, but how I'm showing you these 2, which one is not in the correct orientation of these 2 bottles?
It's not in the correct one, right?
Which one is not in the correct orientation?
I'd say this one, right?
Yeah, you got it. But why would you say this one?
Because, like, since it's facing down, the water would go down instead of going up, right?
There you go. Yeah. So I actually took it like this. I took it upside down like that. Yeah.
I knew something like that.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah. So you got it. So you do trust your common sense. Yeah. So this other one, it's even easier. Another thing about water is that it always finds its level. So I could tilt the bottle in any direction, but the water always finds its level. You know, what could be another word for level?
Everything like level, like straight. Right?
Yeah, it's a good one. That's straight. I would say the number. Yeah, horizontal is actually the proper definition. Yeah, because you could have a straight line that's on a slope, but that's not level. It has to be a horizontal straight line, right? Yeah. So since we understand that fact about water as well, which one of these 2 represents level as we know it? A or B? When we're looking at the water, obviously.
Maybe this one, because it's essentially going on. The more deep it gets, the water. Actually, no, wait. This one, because it's the same level. Yeah, it's obviously, yeah. So like the surface of water, you know, again, always equalizes, right? So the real reason I do this is because over 95% of the population, including myself and maybe you, have been tricked to believing this is what level means, even though we know it's this one. You know, and water shows us that. Okay, you want to know how we were tricked? How? Do you believe the Earth is a ball? Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so NASA in specific, they claim to have satellites orbiting the Earth, so they need to know the radius of orbit, so they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it. So they do tell us the radius is 3,959 miles, which means there has to be curvature every mile, and every mile has to increase because it's a curve, they're telling us, not a slope. So the first mile is an 8-inch drop, second mile 32 inches, and by the third mile there should be 6 feet of curvature. So if we went out to a giant lake that was miles across to physically measure for this curvature, the surface of that water is going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal. You know, but they're trying to tell us that the surface of that lake will be bending, 6 feet in 3 miles and 66 feet in 10 miles. So it just keeps increasing. But we understand that water always collapses and forms a even surface, that being level. So that's why it's called sea level. Have you heard of the oceans? Yeah. So this will be the number one experiment to debunk the globe Earth, a physical measurement of the Earth, water in specific. So if I was to ask you, what's the number one proof or reason that makes you believe that the Earth is a ball?
Doesn't NASA take a satellite and
pictures you're talking about? Oh, yeah, pictures. Okay, I'm glad you brought up pictures. That's actually the number one proof for mostly everybody. But I don't know if you knew this. All the photographs that they're showing us from outer space, they admit they're not photographs. They're actually images. So the reason they call them images, again, is because they're CGI. So they're computer generated. So they make them in a computer. So a genuine photograph of the Earth from space doesn't exist.
So I knew another reason, if people thought the Earth was flat, it was believed if you go to the edge, you fall.
Right. So I would say that's a false argument, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I don't claim that Earth is floating in outer space. The fact is, I don't know what's outside of the Earth. But in my opinion, Earth is a closed system. The fact that we have air pressure here, like 14.7 psi, is what enables us to breathe. So that tells me that the air here is trying to escape. And the fact that it can't escape tells me that it's being contained somehow. So this idea of falling off the edge, you can't, because the Earth is being contained somehow. So what's outside of the Earth, they tell us that it's outer space and it's other planets. That's just bullshit. Nobody knows what's outside of the Earth. So the Earth is like a terrarium, and 100% it was created. That's another reason why they will lie to us about this place, that it's a ball in outer space, that we evolved from monkeys and came from nothing. Again, that's just ideology. That's just like a religion trying to. But the fact is, the first law of thermodynamics is just energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can just transform from one form to another. That tells me that we came from something else, because something cannot come from nothing, basically. So physics proves that this place was created, but nobody knows what that actually is. So what God actually is, and what we actually are, I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm here in this journey, and this one of the biggest lies that I came across, and it's the number one censored topic right now.
Yeah, because honestly, you were right. Cause I thought before you told me that, before you explained it, if you didn't explain that, I would have thought this.
Yeah.
But this makes more sense. It makes complete sense.
The surface, when you go to a lake, it always equalizes. The surface, I don't know if you knew, water doesn't have a form. It takes the shape of the container, and the surface always collapses because it can't sustain itself. Okay. Water cannot hold itself like glue, right? So the surface always forms an equal surface, that equal being level. So just real quick, look, let me show you these images of they're right here. Let me see. Here we go. So these are images taken of the horizon from 20 miles in the sky using amateur helium balloons with a standard camera. How would you describe the horizon?
I mean, because once you pass the clouds and you finally start entering space, right?
Right. Well, that's what they say. I would The fact is, you can only go so high. I think 20 miles is the limit any human beings has ever gone. Yeah. So only NASA will show us videos of them going beyond, supposedly.
But I saying this is a balloon, right?
They use the balloon to reach this height, a helium balloon. But how would you describe the horizon geometrically?
It's horizontal.
Exactly. That's where the word horizon comes from. Yeah. Horizontal. Exactly. Yeah. So the only place you're ever going to see curvature of the Earth is through CGI images like this. Again, these are from NASA's official website. Or through GoPro cameras like this that have the wide angle that warp horizontal lines. Yeah. So whenever you see a jet pilot or a U.S. Air Force flying and they'll show curvature, it's usually a GoPro on top of that airplane, showing this. But these are official NASA images. Can you tell the main difference between these two?
This is way bigger.
Exactly. North America is way bigger here than it is here. But again, both of these were made in a computer regardless, but they're 10 years apart though, which could be the reason why they're so different. This one's from 2002 and this one's from 2012. So, but again, they admit they're cartoons, no real photograph of the Earth exists. Yeah. So let me ask you this. You think there's a possibility that we have been lied to about the nature of the Earth and the nature of our existence, or are you 100% convinced that it's a ball?
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, right?
So much shit the government doesn't hide.
Exactly. I'm assuming you don't trust the government, right?
No, but they just straight up said aliens are real too.
I would say that's reverse psychology. Yeah, talking about aliens. That's just to make you believe in this. Yeah. So again, they'll jump ahead stories about the sky and aliens and messages supposedly coming in and all this bullshit, but they'll never talk about physics. In other words, the physics of water. or the second law of thermodynamics, which says in order to have two opposing pressure systems next to each other, you need a solid container to separate, like the tire in your car, or like a soccer ball or a basketball. You need that solid rubber to keep the air inside from escaping if you want to create a higher pressure. So outer space next to Earth without a solid container, it defies physics. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't.
I didn't realize half this stuff, bro. You opened my mind.
No, yeah, that's good. I mean, you got to be open-minded to begin with to actually even look into this. So the fact that you're taking this, as what it is, it just shows that you're open. A lot of people will be defensive at this point.
Like, mostly adults, bro. Did anyone did any flat earthers come in?
Not yet. I don't call myself a flat earth. I'm gonna tell you why. So flat earth is a term that's being weaponized. So anybody that hears flat earth, automatically they'll already have like their ideas about a flat earther, right? What they heard on the mainstream. The fact is, a lot of these flat earthers will say the earth is motionless. So that's a psyop. Again, I'm not saying these motionless flat earthers are all controlled or their government. No, they just believe what they were told as well. The fact is, the earth has orientation. We have orientation up, down, left, right. The only way to have orientation is for something to be in motion. So something needs to have direction first, and that's where we get orientation from. So the earth is actually in constant motion. So that's what gravity would be. So a lot of people think that, when you release an object, this object goes towards the ground. It's the opposite. It's the ground coming towards the object. So that's what the reality is. So again, a lot of these flat earthers will try to misrepresent someone like me and say that, the only way it's if it's accelerating, if the earth is accelerating. But the fact is, if the earth was accelerating, our weight will be increasing as well. Yeah, because weight is relative to pressure. Something pressing against something. The more you press it, the more weight you're gonna get, the more reading, So they try to say that earth is accelerating, but again, that's the psyop as well. Earth being motionless and accelerating are both psyops. The fact is, it's in constant motion. And you're not really gonna hear anybody talking about that because again, it's just so controlled right now. All these flat earthers online, I'm not saying they're all controlled, but these claims of motionless earths and accelerating earths came from the same people that told you water bends. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's a lot of controlled opposition. So a lot of these big flat earth channels, I would stay away from them, especially if they claim the earth is motionless. So, but again, physics shows us that objects don't accelerate down, and it's the earth in constant motion. You know what I'm saying? When you dive inside a pool, the pressure increases the lower you get, right? When you go in the pool, that's because again, the pool is in contact with the earth. If you were to take that pool and elevate it in a helicopter and you release it, guess what happens to all the pressure within the water? It vanishes. So there's no more pressure anymore because again, you need something pressing against it to create that pressure, So again, all these stationary flat earthers are physics deniers. They're reality deniers as well. So there's no different than believing in the globe, basically.
It's like both sides.
They're trying to control both sides with just ideas. This idea that objects accelerate down. But the fact is that's not the case. I didn't
notice that, bro.
Yeah, no. It's a trip.
My mind because this opened my mind too, dude.
No, yeah. Do you have any questions, for me?
So basically, the theory is but when you go up the sky
this is what it looks like.
Pretty horizontal.
Exactly.
So it kind of debunks, and then it also debunks flat people and it debunks
the fact that here's the thing. Have you ever heard of an accelerometer? Like our phones have an accelerometer. So if you could download an app, an accelerometer, and what happens is that when you're holding that phone and you accelerate in any direction, it registers the acceleration on that axis. So if you go this way, it registers the movement. So when you're just holding the phone, it registers 1 g-force because again, the earth is in constant motion. Guess what happens when you release it in free fall? It registers 0 acceleration. So the fact is that when something is in free fall, it's decelerating. It's not accelerating. So it's decelerating because it's losing its momentum, the momentum that the earth is giving it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up when it comes to this gravity question, because again, that's where the biggest psyop is in my opinion. The only reason why people accept this ball Earth and water bending and all this shit about orbits is because people believe that objects accelerate down. People believe in this gravity pulling force, and that explains orbits. That explains how planets are formed in outer space. Exactly, but it's all based on this lie that objects accelerate down. When it's the other way around, it's the earth coming in. But think about it, if from a globe perspective, if you drop something here in North America and you drop something in Australia, And it's the Earth coming into contact with the objects, that would mean the Earth will have to be expanding in all directions.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew have you ever heard of Einstein's theory of relativity?
I heard of it, yeah.
His explanation is just a word salad explanation that nobody understands, by the way, to explain away that fact. So he says it's the bending and warping of space-time, which doesn't even exist. And that's why that's his explanation to why objects don't accelerate down, and it's the Earth coming up to contact with them. And he says it's just space-time being bent by matter. And it doesn't make any sense, I'm telling you.
I was like,
nobody understands it. Yeah. Not even Einstein himself understands it. They just hope that people just accept it without any reason, basically. And that's why it's just a theory, theory of relativity, Yeah, so yeah.
What's your name, bro?
My name's William.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So let me give you my channel, and you could check it out. And the 6 main proofs are in there as well that debunk the globe.
Okay,
But yeah, take care. Yeah, go for it, man.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my God, you're right.
There you go.
Tell people to come here.
Yeah, right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Take care. Yeah, you too. All right. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it already. My camera's still recording and it's about to die, but it's cool. All right, I'm gonna start packing up. Whew. All right, I'm gonna start calling it, but did you guys see the cartoon physics of a motionless Earth? What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys think for any motionless flat earthers out there, do you guys think you could come up with an experiment like that can increase the weight or you again reorientate it sideways, and give the effects of weight and pressure and orientation and all that? I would love to see that experiment, by the way. I'm tired of reading these word salad explanations about fucking ethers and electrostatics, that create all of these things, and then there's nothing practical, to show. So I'm kind of tired of those comments, by the way. But again, people could do whatever they want, believe whatever they want, but unless you have something practical, then you can't be taken serious. It's just gonna be cartoon physics, no different than the globe. No different than the globe. It's the same ideology, that objects accelerate down towards the Earth in free fall. The same ideology that created the globe Earth cult, which is that, it's the same ideology that's creating this motionless flat Earth cult as well. Again, why cults? Because cults are based on ideology. Not only that, cults are based off a hierarchy structure. You have levels of authority in a cult. That's exactly what we're experiencing with the globe Earth and flat Earth as well now, with all these fucking groups forming and all these fucking, it's just fucking ridiculous, So yeah, the motionless flat Earth is a cult. If you're not doing this on your own means and representing yourself, representing the facts, then you're part of a cult. I hate to say it, especially if you believe the Earth is motionless and you preach that. If you preach the Earth is motionless, that's no different than a cult. That's no different than when I see religious people on the streets trying to talk to me about Jesus. Why? That's ideology. That's a cult. Nothing personal, but it is what it is, man. You gotta grow up. Stop believing what people are telling you online and start paying attention to reality. Pay attention to physics. Pay attention to water in specific. Water is gonna show you what's going on. You can't have pressure within water if nothing's pressing up against it. So the fact that pressure vanishes in free fall tells you that it's not being pressed down or pulled down. Are we gonna go with that pulling down? Come on, Just real quick, I wanted to highlight this point. I'm noticing a lot of stationary flat earthers are denying that objects accelerate down. So they're using words like inertia, for example, or they're using words like falling, right? Just a quick example. When you use the word falling, you got to be more specific, by the way. When you use the words falling and you're using inertia, because if you ask me, inertia, the definition of inertia is supposedly that object that has no motion, basically, or basically, yeah. In my opinion, though, it's also decelerating. So inertia could be viewed as deceleration as well. It's funny how they don't talk about deceleration, but inertia could basically represent that as well. So when these motionless flat earthers say, oh, it's falling because of its inertia. Okay, it's decelerating then. That's how I perceive it. How do you perceive inertia? Is it accelerating? Because not even nowhere in the definition does it say acceleration. It actually says the opposite. It says no motion, or, you know, again, or decelerating, you know? So again, you got to be more specific when people use these words. So a quick example, you have two cars, right, next to each other like this, right, going straight. They're both going 100 miles an hour, right? They're both going straight in a track like this, right? Let's do it sideways. They're both going straight like this, 100 miles an hour each, right? If you let go of the gas of one of the cars, it starts to decelerate, right? But then what happens? It starts to fall back. It's falling back relative to the direction of motion. Just because it's falling back, that doesn't mean it's moving back. It's just decelerating. So again, deceleration, you could say, well, when things fall, yeah, they're falling back relative to the direction of motion. In other words, it's decelerating. So, oh, I'm actually done already.
Hello.
So let me just, yeah, I'm kind of busy. I'm already here. Let me give you the flyer though. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, and you could check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, man. Take care. So, when these motionless flat earthers are claiming, oh, it's not accelerating down, it's just falling. It's just falling. Yeah, okay, I agree. It's falling back relative to the direction of motion, which is up. So it is falling back. It is falling, you know? I agree, it is falling. Yeah, it's decelerating though. It's just falling back. So when you say it's falling, what do you mean? Is it accelerating or what? Again, you're using these fucking buzzwords, falling, inertia, like you gotta be more specific. It's either accelerating down or decelerating down. It's one of the two. You know, I don't give a fuck what words you use, you know? This is just fucking word salad. So you gotta make the claim. Is it accelerating down or decelerating down? Those are the only two options, you know? I just wanted to make that point clear because a lot of these fucking motionless flat earthers I think they're doing it deliberately, you know? Is some channels, you know, that are pushing this. Flatzoid's one of them, you know, I'll just say his name. I'm pretty sure some of you know this guy, but yeah, my point is, if you're gonna start using these buzzwords to not admit that you're claiming acceleration, that's you're a coward. You're a coward. You don't even defend your own claims. Now, that's pretty lame, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be more specific, you know, when you use inertia and falling. What do you mean? Decelerating or accelerating? You know? Those are the only two options. You know, I know that that a lot of motionless flat earthers like to strawman someone like me, or strawman the whole argument by saying it's perfectly still and the earth has to be accelerating. That's the only way to get the increase of pressure. The higher you drop it, the higher you drop it, the higher the impact. So the only way that's possible is if the earth is accelerating. Then you will have to assume that as soon as you let this go, it goes from accelerating to 100% still. The second you let it go, it goes from accelerating up apparently to 100% motionless, and that's why the earth accelerates up towards. That's retarded. That's fucking retarded. Anybody fucking making those claims, I'm gonna call you out for it. Like at this point, it's fucking ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you claim the earth is motionless, you have to claim that the objects accelerate down, period. You can't say it's decelerating. That doesn't make any sense. How can objects decelerate if the earth is motionless? So again, you only have acceleration and deceleration. So you got to come up with some kind of other explanations, and not only that, practical demonstrations that back up your explanations to even be taken serious, you know? But, all right, I'm going to go ahead and call it already. I'm going to, yeah, I wanted to go over the other two videos on the last live stream. I didn't even get to it, but hopefully next time. I think it's important. The perspective, what was it? How they derive the geometry of the globe Earth from the geometry of vision, and how they misrepresent that, you know? I think that's very important, you know? But not as important as the claim or the lie that objects accelerate down. I just think that's way more important, you know, because again, from that idea, as you guys seen it, you know, you see it time and time again, it's the main reason why people have this belief in a force of gravity that's outside in the universe, you know, it's just there, and it just gives everything its orientation, and it orbits and spins and water bends and all this bullshit, black holes even, I've heard, you know, it's fucking ridiculous, you know, and all from the claim that objects accelerate down, man. Come on. All right, I'll be waiting for the demonstration from the motionless flat earthers, or even globe earthers too, you know, of recreating pressure and weight and orientation, you know. But yeah, thanks again for everyone that showed up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.